Welcome back to Unbridled Thoughts. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Ren, and you better grab the mane because there's no reins in Unbridled Thoughts. And so today we're here with Meredith Ochoa.
Hello. We ran into Meredith. I'm going to let Ren tell the story because she's good at it. But it's like the whole vibe is like weird.
You're good at it. You are good at it.
She is. You were good at it. So you tell the story.
Sure. Okay. So the way that we ran into Meredith was really cool, really synergistic and amazing. We were just out to dinner at Oliver's Corner Bistro in Macon. We sat in Matt's section. Shout out to Matt. And we saw the cutest dog that looked like it came from like a storybook.
He is
and it
the
was
cutest.
such a good baby. And that was Champion, your dog.
Yes.
And you introduced your dog to us. And then that's how we met you and your husband. And we chatted with you for a minute and we found out all kinds of cool stuff that you had moved from Atlanta. And you and I were chatting about that because I moved here from Atlanta. But then you started to go into how you have a podcast and you're an artist.
Yeah.
And you do really cool stuff that we're going to go deeper into.
Yeah.
That we have a lot of questions for you about as well. So we would love for you to introduce yourself as well.
Yes. Well, hello, and shout out to everyone involved in bringing us here. Matt, Oliver's, Champion,
Yeah.
my husband, Jason.
Yes.
For us getting married because it was our anniversary.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that, but yeah, you're right. Yeah.
The 13th, the power of the 13th, because it was on the
Yeah.
13th. And it's like, that could be like a whole other episode. 13th. The power of the number 13, which is why they do not watch the number 13 on anything, but that's another story. I'm Meredith, and my podcast is Face Your Shit, Heal Yourself. And that is really exemplary of what I do and how I live my life. I faced my shit and healed myself after almost 20 years of living in hell with endometriosis. And so I created the show. So not only for other women dealing with endometriosis and hormonal imbalances, but people with chronic disease in general, so they don't have to search almost 2 decades to find out the simple truth of most things, which is they're totally curable: diet, lifestyle, mindset, and other procedures and modalities that have either been censored, banned, or covered up by Big Pharma. So all of those things we chat about and more on the podcast. I'm on every social media platform, but I'm not active on all of them. I just left social media and I did an episode about that. It's awesome. You should definitely listen to that because it's about a lot more than just not posting. But I am obviously active. My podcast is on Spotify, everywhere, every major podcast platform. I am active on my email subscriptions, on my Substack, and on YouTube. And if you visit me on Instagram or Facebook, I have a beautiful 9 grid digital billboard saying why I'm not there, who I am, and what I do.
Okay, so informational.
Yes, it's a sign instead of saying, sorry, we're closed. It's just like, this is what you need to know.
Yeah, that's all you need to know.
All you need to know.
Yeah.
I don't need to keep, running this merry-go-round of posts.
Yeah. No, I love that you're so authentic about that because I think a lot of people feel that way and they're not quite sure to go about it. So that episode is going to be a great reference for like next steps. Because I'm sure it wasn't easy.
No. And listen, I worked in marketing. I have been social media manager. Like, I'm saying for me, I don't know that necessarily that's right for everyone, but there is like this whole epidemic of like doom scrolling just basically teaching
brain rot.
Teaching people to be a voyeur really in life. Like, instead of calling your friend, you just fucking look at their profile instead of going. So it's like these digital lurkers really are like a whole other, besides just work. Like, okay, like running this post merry-go-round, that's one thing, but the emotional side of it, of like, what am I contributing to? Like, am I contributing to like real depth and intimate relationships, or like, am I just contributing to like, oh, let's just like look in this person's life, but I don't have to be a part of it.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So, and it's a beautiful tool for people in different countries and keeping up with people like that you've known since the 5th grade and they moved away and all of that. And that's how it started. But I feel like now it's a lot different.
Yeah.
Than that.
There's always a pendulum and they swing one way or the other. It's hard to keep them balanced,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, totally.
Well, will you tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe where you grew up and a little bit about your life?
Yeah. So I grew up Charlotte, North Carolina, born and raised there. I really did not like Charlotte. I don't know. I'd say for people that grew up in Georgia or Atlanta, if Kennesaw and Buckhead had a baby, be Charlotte. And
That's
so,
a really good analogy.
do you know
That
what I'm
is really
saying?
good.
You know what I'm saying?
We just got
We
back.
were
I went to
just
Charlotte
there.
for the first
You
time.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It was cute, but we weren't really in Charlotte ever, were we?
Pine.
We were
Yeah.
in
Pineville. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
and it was
Right.
cute.
Yeah. And it is like, so for like visiting and
Yeah,
stuff like
yes,
that. And
yes.
like,
Yeah.
it's a big banking town, which I get why a lot of people live there. But I'm creative. I'm an artist. I thrive on diversity and weirdness and things being different.
I
So,
feel that.
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, got a scholarship to go to SCAD on a wing and a prayer. Hell yeah, let's go. Went to Savannah College of Art and Design in Atlanta because I wanted somewhere that wasn't just the school.
Mhm.
So to be able to escape, go 20 minutes, you're in the country, 20 minutes, you're in the hood, 20 minutes, you're in downtown, all the diversity, loved it, got more money to stay and do my master's, did that, graduated in 2012 and just stayed in Atlanta because I loved it so much. Fast forward from 2012, so really from 2007, did all my school till 2012. Fast forward to the tail end of 2023. Here we are in Macon, moved to Macon, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made. And I did not know that at the time. I moved my husband's family. My mother-in-law has dementia, and we wanted to be closer to help his dad, to be closer to the family. I didn't know how much I would love it. And part of it is like our house and the property and obviously being married,
Yeah.
husband, and all of that creates home. But I've never, ever felt more at home than here. And I haven't felt at home anywhere. I've been an alien like very, very early on. And it's the closest to home that I've ever felt. And everyone, again, there's assholes everywhere. I've met them here. But there's a level of realness. There's a level of that community-driven factor that you cannot replicate. You cannot manufacture.
Yeah.
You can manufacture the shit they have in Atlanta. You can manufacture the shit they have in Miami, the concrete jungles.
Yeah.
You cannot manufacture the weirdness here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I love it. And I met you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Macon does have an electricity to it.
Yeah.
It does.
And that's the thing is like if it's, I sound so cliche, but if you're like tapped into that vibe,
Yeah.
stuff just unfold. Like it's really cool. I
Yeah.
like it.
It's so cool. And that's how I felt that day we met. And you can just go out in Macon and like just follow that rhythm.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
you're saying, you just have this whole day, this whole adventure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We're like, I think Atlanta, and of course neighborhoods of Atlanta, Little Five Points, which I loved so much, and Cabbagetown, maybe, but it's changed so much
Mhm.
Yeah.
that it's hard to get on that pulse again of just
Yeah.
going out and having an adventure because there's like people trying to get something all
Yeah.
the time.
Mhm.
Little 5 Points though, it is still like that old biker, like at the end of
Yeah.
the bar. I mean, I'm talking like
Yeah, yeah.
PBR in hand,
Oh,
like
always.
the banner on the back of the vest, and everything is encroaching onto it, but it has
Yeah.
still it's like a little,
Good.
almost like a little piece of Seattle in the
Yeah.
middle of Atlanta. And it's still like rebellious and punk rock and like graffiti, but you can even see it every time I drive through. I swear it gets smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are my stomping grounds. That's where I really like in Atlanta. We got married at the Wrecking Bar right
Nice.
there in Little Five Points.
That's awesome.
Mariana, oh my gosh. Later on, my husband owned 42 Degrees, smoke shop, head shop, which was right there in Little Five Points next to Wish. There's so much cool stuff there. Yeah.
No, I love it. Well, do you want to tell us how you and your husband met?
Yes. Jason, let's go.
You guys are so cute too. You have
Mhm.
such great chemistry. I love it.
Thank you. I'm very lucky. It was a long road there, a long road there for both of us, and many, many other relationships that did not work out that way. But when you know, you know. And so I basically was selling AT&T door to door, got very sick doing that. Recommend people do that. And basically was like septic in the hospital. I hadn't seen anyone for like 2 weeks. Called my friend Sasha, who I know I'm going to have a good time. She lives in LA now. We went to SCAD and she's a fashion designer. And she does all these amazing things for celebrities and different like shows, like really cool, extravagant
cool.
outfits. Yes. Shout out Sasha. Fucking cool. And so I know I'm going to have a good time. She's working at 42 degrees in Little 5 Points. Come on down. You want to have a good time? Okay. So she's like, come behind the counter when you get there. Come behind the counter. There's this dude there. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. He's like, who the hell are you? And I just look at him like, who the fuck are you? Like, I just didn't have time to be bothered by any kind of bullshit. Right? Like, I'm walking on through. I'm living my life. And so we introduced ourselves later more appropriately. Everyone started talking. We went out, had a good time. And Jason didn't drink because of me. And I thought that was sweet. But we clicked. But in my mind, I'm like, all this, I have, bills to pay. I have all this other shit in my mind. So night ends. Sasha, I think a couple of days later, was like, we go out. And she's like, hey, that guy you met the other day, Jason, had this dream about you. You were married. You were really happy. He likes you, and he doesn't like that many people. Like, I think you should go out with him. Hell no. Like, absolutely not. I don't have time for that shit. First of all, we're 12 years apart. So it was kind of scandalous at the time. So he's 36. And I joke, I think we were talking earlier, I joke because I'm just now as old as Jason was when we first met. So I was like turning 24. I think I was turning 24. Yes. Fast forward a couple months. I was like, I don't have time for that shit. She must have told him that I like astrology. So he brought crystals and different things like that associated with my sign to my birthday party in January, because we had that whole incident in November when we first met. We went, I was like, I want to know more about these because we didn't have time to really talk a lot at the party. Mm-hmm. And when we sat down, we went to the Porter, Little 5 Points. We went there every 13th. After that, we even got engaged there. Love the Porter. Shout out to the Porter.
I love when they decorate for Halloween too. It's
oh my God.
They like go all out.
Yes. Yes. Go cheese fritters. Yeah. So went to the Porter, brings the stones, and it was literally like, for both of us, it was like being on drugs but we didn't take anything. Mm-hmm. I was actually scared at one point because I'm like, because like time stopped. Mm-hmm. And we had a whole experience on February 13th. This goes again to why the number 13 is so powerful in our lives, not just for meeting you guys and our anniversary, but many other reasons. And it was just like looking in the mirror at someone you've known 1,000 years.
Yeah. That's so cool.
That was awesome. Awesome.
So I want to check really quick. What is your sign? You got to be Aquarius.
Oh, yes, I'm a sun. That's my sun sign.
It's your sun sign. Okay.
My sun sign's Aquarius. I'm a Scorpio moon.
Okay.
And I am a Leo rising.
Oh,
wow. That's my big 3. Let's go big 3.
Those are some big 3s. Those are some intense powers there.
Yes. It took a while. Again, like, shows face your shit, heal yourself. So I've been through some shit. I'm a Scorpio moon. Yeah, I healed myself with eating disorder, of multiple addictions, of endometriosis, many other things that are just endometriosis and like horrible periods and dying every month is like just like that. But just that's part of the Scorpio moon.
Yeah. And so you guys have ran your birth charts and all that good stuff. You guys, you're soulmates and twin flames and have lived lives together.
He's a Saggy. I love Saggies. Love the fire. Yeah. So he's a Sagittarius sun, Cancer moon, and an Aquarius rising.
Okay.
And so that's something for anyone watching the show interested in astrology. If you have just a very quick thing, you can usually tell you're going to have a powerful relationship with someone. And it is a marker of soulmates sometimes. If your rising and sun match.
Yes, twin flames. That's the sign of a twin flame.
So what's your big 3?
My big 3 is Gemini, sun, and then I'm a Pisces moon, and I'm a Taurus rising.
Love that.
So,
I need more Taurus. I love that.
So it's balanced.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it's nice and balanced. Do you remember what yours is?
So I have to look, but I know I'm a Virgo. And I believe my moon sign is Taurus, I want to say.
Okay.
And then
my Virgos.
Remember.
And the star sign is
your
rising.
Your rising. I have to look it up.
Yeah.
I wish
That's
I knew
okay.
it. I should know it.
It's how you come off in groups, or like how you package the first two up and present yourself to the world.
I have hers. I'd have to just look it up. I'd be looking at my phone for a minute.
It's amazing synastry you guys have, though, and it makes a lot of sense with you being a Gemini.
Yes.
With the podcast, and then I can totally see the Virgo. I have a 6th house stellium. If anyone knows my chart, I'm like, I'm nerding out. Okay?
I have a 5-house stellium. Yeah.
A 5th house?
A 5th house, yeah.
Oh,
and it's in Virgo.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
There's a lot. So, and I feel like I've had past lives as a Virgo. I relate a lot to the Virgos and Capricorns because mine's 6th house stellium, and I have a bunch of planets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like thinking in terms of astrology now.
Yeah.
I love that.
I know.
Awesome.
I love it though. I love that you're like one of the few people, because I know without a doubt that there's a soulmate and a twin flame,
Right.
and karmic lesson.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'll go to talk to other astrologists, and that's like an argument we have. And I'm like, no, it is different. And you don't know until you know.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's all different.
It's so different, and they're different lessons. And like you're saying, it's not always a good, like,
It isn't. No.
being twin flames, being karmic partners, even soulmates. You may be connected for lessons you need to learn to complete a contract that wasn't in another life. That unfinished business of all kinds. Me and Jason are very rare exception. Many astrologers have said that we have all of these matching, and we still like each other.
Yeah.
And we get along. And I think that goes back to, and that's like the deeper astrology where you get into the galactic center and DNA and all of that.
I also think too that it sounds like you and Jason are very healed.
Yeah.
And I think if you find your twin flame, you're not healed.
Right.
Which is when you guys first met, you were healed. He probably was.
I've been a part of each other's healing journey.
Yeah.
And it's a journey. It's not
journey.
a destination, but I think we were both at the point where, like, in our stories where it's like, now is the time for you to meet because you're ready to hear.
Yeah.
You're ready to listen.
Yeah. Yeah. And your oh hell no moment is classic twin flame behavior. Oh no, I know you. Oh hell no.
Right? But you can't deny it at a certain point.
Yeah.
Right? And I couldn't. The thing is, I wasn't attracted to him. I liked him.
Yeah.
You know, you have conversations. I would have conversations with his friend, but I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to date this person. I wasn't even like thinking of that at all.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's part of it. But then, like, when that switch flips, and I think too, what led up to it was a girl at the party. This is fucking hilarious. Was like, he's really cute. Do you have his number? Or can you get my number? My friend Tisha. And I was like, I stood there for a second. I was like, he is kind of cute. Wait, is that him?
I needed external confirmation.
But it's weird. Like, I wasn't thinking that way. I wasn't even like, oh, I'm saving this for later. I wasn't like in that. I wasn't even thinking that at all. And in fact, I was going out with another person. We weren't like exclusive. I was just talking to another person at the party. And so, but when someone said it was like someone else, the reflection of seeing, I guess as an empath, because I'm an empath too, seeing through someone, I was like, wait a second. This warrants maybe like going out for a time and seeing. So thank you, Tisha.
Awesome. Okay, I am a Virgo, and my sun is Virgo. Rising is Sagittarius, and moon is Cancer.
Oh, hell yeah. That's what I was saying. So moon Cancer. Okay, Virgo, Cancer, Saggy is your big three.
Yeah.
Love Saggies. I'm very a Sag. Sagittarius energy is amazing.
Yes, it is. I love it. And that's my sister sign. So I think that's why we balance each other out. Plus I have the stallion
in the 5th house.
In the 5th house in Virgo.
That's such a fun house.
Yeah.
So, stallion then.
And it's like my major ones like Jupiter and Mars and
I have my Jupiter on Algol, which if you know Algol, so Jupiter like represents like God.
What'd you say?
Algol?
I swear I thought you said Al Gore.
It could be because Algol and this star maybe have some things in common. Algol is the demon star.
Oh.
It's like the devil would represent like your just rage, like all of that. Like the demon star is a fixed asteroid, everyone's chart, a certain spot. I think it's 26 degrees Taurus or something like that. My Jupiter is exactly on top of Algol, and Jupiter is like best plants. Like, you could think of it as like God,
Okay.
like expansion, Zeus.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. See, you
lucky,
know it
lucky.
deeper than I do. I'm still a baby at all of it.
And I'll never know. It's like astrology is hard. It's
Mhm.
just like,
There's a lot to it.
it's always evolving too,
Yeah.
and different ways of seeing something. So I'm constantly learning and
Yeah.
tripping over myself as well. But that's where my Jupiter. I think it's funny that they're on top of each
Yeah.
other. So it's basically saying like your anger and rage can be blessed. You can have good fortune
Mhm.
through your rage, and that's because when I've gotten mad and stuff, really good things have come from
Okay.
it. When you channel it in a healthy way, that's
Yeah.
so for anyone that has the demon star, has Jupiter on their demon star, I'm like, why can't it be in my money house or something? It's like, it's not like demon star. It's like, yes, it's basically saying the shadowy parts of you, channeling those and integrating those are going to bring expansion and
That's
fortune.
cool.
Yes.
Well, going back, I know you said that you got very sick at a time. Is that because I remember researching that you had a near-death experience. Was that when you got really sick? Was when you were little 5 points, or is that another time?
I know there's so many. I've died so many times.
Side, yeah, tonight.
Like, these fucking people.
When did you find out that you did have endometriosis?
That's a great
And what
great
all do you
question.
have?
Yes. So endometriosis, I officially was diagnosed, and unfortunately this is true for many, many women and girls. I was told since I was 12 years old, it's a psychological issue. It's in your head, and this unfortunately still happens today. And endometriosis goes undiagnosed for a long time. And then on top of that, the treatments are crap. But anyway,
And there isn't a real diagnosis, right?
Right.
That's the problem. Kind of the problem. Same thing with PCOS. It's like they're hand in hand all the way.
Not a real diagnosis, but obviously there is. It's just in terms of Western medicine, they either say, okay, we have to do ultrasound. They can't see through the ultrasound. Then it's laparoscopic surgery. So really, in layman's terms, it's what's going to cost the most money so we can get a diagnosis.
My daughter has PCOS, and they think she has endometriosis. And it's always just, you never really, they're like, well, your testosterone's high.
Right.
You have these symptoms, so you qualify for endometriosis.
Right. And it's very sad, but I didn't end up being officially diagnosed, even though all of the symptoms and all the things until from 12 until I had the surgery after Jason and I started dating. So until in the first 2 years, until I was about like 24. That story. Yeah. Yeah. So I didn't go. And the interesting thing about endometriosis is it's this disease. It's an autoimmune disease because it's like, why did the body not detox the excess estrogen that the endometrium that just flies off? So you could have someone that has endometrium like on their lungs, on their intestines, and all kinds of different organs, and maybe not have that bad of pain, but they have shit everywhere, right? So it looks like, oh my God. And then you can have someone that has like a little bit just in their pelvic region or wherever, and has intense pain. So it's one of those things that you can't look at and say, oh my God, this is so bad. Of course, like taking care of the lesions and all of that. But it just depends on, again, it's hormonal on those people's, on the hormones, on where it is too. That was mine is embedded now. And I feel like because it took so long for me to be diagnosed, became embedded in the pelvic muscle. So when they do the surgery, they can, if it's there, obviously like laser it out, get it out. But because it had been so long, it can become a part of like whatever, right? It can just become embedded. So it's responding hormonally to estrogen outside of the uterine wall.
So like kudzu.
Right. You can think of it that way. Yeah. It's like that. But the root cause, again, and it's not always estrogen dominance, it's hormone imbalance. But I say a lot of people will lean towards estrogen dominance. Everyone has a different blueprint. But people will say that because that is what is responding to hormonally. That's what's like causing the pain. But it doesn't necessarily mean you're estrogen dominant if you have endometriosis.
Yeah.
Because there's different levels for everyone. So I hope that gives you a little bit better
Yeah,
picture.
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you got diagnosed and you went through traditional Western medicine, you didn't really find that was able to help you?
I went for years and it was birth control. They'll give you birth control like it's fucking candy.
I know.
Just for anything.
Which I think it masks the problem, but encourages the problem, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It makes it worse.
Mm-hmm.
Biologically. And they know this. They know this. Anyone can look at the facts. And that's what's so frustrating about health in general is these are black and white things. It's not a subjective theory, right? It's like, this is how women's bodies work. This is how men's bodies work. This is how hormones work. Are there different levels and different blueprints for everyone?
Yeah.
Yes. It's not a one size fits all, but there's just black and white facts that Western medicine completely ignores because it was built by Big Pharma. And when Rockefeller decided to,
In 1912.
we know the story, bought essentially the medical school
And the food.
eliminated all nutrition, eliminated. This is where you see the split. Like, why is there a split in medicine? Why is there a split in holistic and modern medicine? There shouldn't be a split if we're talking about black and white things.
Right.
And there's a split because of Big Pharma. There's a split because of business. And so everyone that was chiropractic or like the old doctors, so before 1912, everyone
Was
knew the same shit about the body because
we're all doctors.
right, the body works this way. We're all talking about the same shit, but then you bring business and money into it. Oh, well, if you don't like our business and money and our tactics, then you're this weird chiropractor.
Yeah.
You're this weird nutritionist. And guess what? You're not going to be covered by insurance. You're
So
not
you get
gonna
kind of pushed into like pseudoscience.
100%.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't, it's like gangsters.
Right.
It's,
Paper gangsters.
yeah. And it's especially towards women because there weren't even, still to this day, they're not required to. And it's gotten better. But for most pharmaceuticals and most of these trends and fads and diets that you see there, all those statistics are not run on women in their menstruating years. They are run on men and postmenopausal women because it's easier because they don't have the infradian rhythm. They had their hormones are every 24 hours, like a short circuit battery. We are
A month long.
or 28 days, a long circuit battery, right? And it goes through the 4 phases in the menstruating year. So they deem that too difficult to
Too
track.
much paperwork, guys.
So you have women taking these prescription pills. And this goes beyond just having hormone problems. This is across the board in testing, just women's health.
Yeah.
Women have been excluded from clinical trials.
Yes.
Women in their menstruating years.
Yeah.
Because women, postmenopausal women, their hormones are more similar to how a man's works.
Okay. Makes sense.
So that, and I forgot I could talk about this.
No, we
forever.
love this. No, that makes sense though, because I can remember hearing that like a lot of medical studies in general for like devices or medications or things like that is more often done on men.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know what I mean? And then
And they'll get the stats and they'll advertise it. Intermittent fasting is a great example of this. A wonderful example. Intermittent fasting,
Yeah.
autophagy, like all, and reverse aging, all this, put your cells on all this stuff.
Yeah.
Those are all of those statistics and all those trials. I'm not saying this can't work, but when you see it work, it's postmenopausal, menopausal women that their hormones are going in that direction, like a man.
Yeah.
Horrible if you are like my age or a year in your menstruating years. You try to do intermittent fasting, especially in your luteal phase, right before your period.
Yeah.
When you need the calories, you are diminishing, you're depleting your organs, your body, all of that stuff. But people will hear this stuff.
And we're wrecking our system.
Yeah.
We're wrecking. I know for a fact, like I have a really hard time losing weight. So lately I've been just doing a lot of research about it. Well, I am not a big eater. I'm just not.
Right.
So I live in a calorie deficit like my whole entire life. Now I'm finding out that now my body is so used to living in that calorie deficit that there's no way to lose, like to swing the pendulum. You know what I mean? The pendulum at all. I'm just stuck.
Right.
And I don't gain weight necessarily and I don't lose weight necessarily. My body just is just, okay, well, whatever you give us,
Right.
we're not going to burn it.
Right.
We're going to just hold on to it.
Right. And that gets into knowing, and this is where it could even bring in Ayurveda,
Yeah.
knowing yourself, knowing your body's constitution,
Yeah.
how energy flows in your body.
Yeah.
Outside of, okay, there's these trends and fads and diets, knowing that, okay, if you're a woman, most of that stuff is run just for men, unless they specifically say, this is for women and these are the trials you're in through.
Yeah.
But like in your case,
Yeah.
for instance, knowing, okay, the doshas, Ayurveda, like
Yeah.
Vata Pitta Kapha,
Yeah.
if you're
Yeah.
familiar with, which is like astrology, like we were saying. And
I'm not. Ren is stronger on that conversation. Yeah,
Okay.
she knows a little bit more, but I am not.
got you.
Yeah.
And that's similar. Those doshas I compare to like the energies in astrology. And Ayurveda is it is the oldest medicine in the world, ancient Indian medicine, and they do account for energy and the state of the parents, all of that. It's not just what you're eating, what time, and all of that. It's who you are.
Right.
So all of these doshas, like for instance, my primary dosha, I'm a Pitta Vata. So Pitta is your rock and roll, it's fire, it's like coffee, alcohol, anything with a kick, right? So anything that you are, you want to balance out, just like the elements in astrology. If you're very fiery, maybe you, or even very watery, you want to maybe have some grounding, some earth, right? Or maybe like some cooling. So that's like such a tip of the iceberg little spiel on Ayurveda, but it's thinking in terms of you are your own authority instead of looking to the outside. And of course we have guides and knowledge and all of that, but it's checking in with yourself first. I think is what so many people miss.
Oh, I agree 100. I mean, I think most of the people in the world don't even know who they are or what they like, or you know what I mean? It took me leaving my abusive marriage to take the time to really figure out who I am. So I'm still a baby. It's only been 3 years, you know what I mean?
I get that.
And you finally learn who you are and what you're willing to stand up for, and you know what I mean, and what your body needs. And and I love what you're talking about, all those things. So did your husband introduce you to most of that?
It's so funny. I have known about Ayurveda in tandem, like astrology. I was like, when I could read, like my first books were astrology books. I just went straight to the party. My grandfather was like, you can read whatever you want. I'd be like reading the Egyptian mythology and like astrology books. And you're like, okay. But Ayurveda, I liked it a lot. I learned about it more in my 20s, my early 20s, and at school on my beginning of my journey of like facing my shit, facing my pain with endometriosis. Like I can't fucking die every month anymore. Like we have to find a way. And I found Ayurveda, one of the things I found through that. And my husband and my sister too took that way further than I did. He actually became a counselor, but I relate to it on a very knowing the doshas and knowing the energy. So on a very like bird's eye view, okay, these foods are this, I'm this, or like even this day, this season, like even right now, accounting for that we are in cold months or colder, it's going to be drier. Just like in the hot months, it's going to be more wet and humid. So like our bodies change, and a lot of things don't even consider that. They don't consider like different things that we need. It's not just this linear.
I've thought about that too, just even trying to eat the seasons, you know what I mean? Like the fruit of the seasons, and that's always been in the back of my mind. To eat what's in season. It's got to be important. It's got to be in season for a reason.
So important. Totally.
And what your dosha is too. And also, if you're like, what are y'all talking about? If you go online, you can take a test for free.
Absolutely.
I just put in a fake email. But then that tells you your results. And then can they see your husband since he's a practitioner? Okay.
Jason Latisse.
Jason Latisse. And then Leaf that we interviewed a few episodes ago is a practitioner in Macon as well.
Yay.
And so I'm Kapha, so I need more of what you have. And so because I'm like cold and heavy, like I don't want to eat like a whole bowl of watermelon because it'll just kind of weigh me down. But if I had some spicy like curry or something like that, I'd be like, wee.
Exactly.
It gives you the energy. And I want to know more about that. You were talking about the Infradian rhythm. Yeah. Okay, I want to know more about this because I hear about it a lot. And we touched on it in anatomy in school, but we never learned it like in sex ed at all. And I feel like it should be taught. There's so much information about what you should be doing and what you should be eating and like different things to kind of like baby your uterus during like certain times when it's inflamed. Could you go through those with us?
So it's again how your body works. Just the facts of women's health should 100% be taught to you. Especially girls when getting their period. Woman Code and In the Flow by Alyssa Vitti are wonderful, wonderful resources. And I feel like they should be required reading in school because she lays it out in just a really digestible way and goes through the 4 phases. So the infradian rhythm, and she talks about this as well as many other people, but the infradian rhythm and the circadian rhythm. So everyone knows pretty much the circadian rhythm. Sun comes up, you need to be up. Sun goes down, you need to be going down and going to bed. That's the circadian rhythm. And the male hormonal clock is very in sync with that. And of course, we as women have a circadian rhythm as well. We need to be, resting at night when the sun is down as well. So like we were saying earlier, man's clock is 24 hours. But in addition to the circadian rhythm, we have the infradian rhythm. That is what I described as the long circuit battery going across 28 days. So the 4 phases. So that is follicular, ovulatory, luteal, and then menstrual phase. So most people think, oh, I just have my period. Your cycle is your whole life.
Yeah, but they also tell us like that's the beginning of your cycle. You know what I mean? But then they don't explain the rest of the cycle.
It's so dangerous.
You have a period. That's it.
No more questions. Let's move on to the next part.
No, you have You have this follicle. Well, how do you have a period? No. You have all the 3 phases preceding that create the period, and you could even zoom out larger, even to Ayurveda level, and describe them seasonally. You have the follicular as the spring. The follicle forms. You have the ovulatory as the summer, right? It's the most fertile time, the most magnetic, most hot time. Luteal, you have as like the fall. That's like your boundaries, you're getting shit done phase, and your brain is primed for different things hormonally during each phase. So if you know that, you can biohack and leverage each phase.
That's cool.
And have podcasts when you're in your ovulatory phase. Have talking because you're most magnetic. And then of course you have menstrual, which you could even think of as winter. Right. So going within, your left and your right hemispheres of your brain are more active at that time than any other time. So your brain is literally primed for psychic information, for intuition. And this is all only if you are not on birth control. Birth control, this is the danger of birth control real quick. Many other dangers, but one of them is it shuts down this whole thing. You no longer have a bleed. You may have a fake bleed, and people may say, oh, I just have your period one day. That's not a period. It's fake, because the dangerous thing about birth control is it shuts down ovulation. You don't have ovulation, you don't have a period. And why that's so bad, one of the things that I'll just describe on an emotional level, ovulation is your mental toughness. That is why you see a lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people have suicidal thoughts or have anxiety going on birth control. Your basically hormones and your brain and all of your organs cannot communicate to one another because that is all shut down synthetically. And they'll never tell you this at the doctor's office because that doesn't make money.
Yeah.
But that's just the facts. And I'm not trying to scare anyone or be like whatever, but I'm just telling you the facts, right? Again, this is very factual conversation of just how things work. So the infradian rhythm you can only access if it's active, which means you're not on birth control, you're not on something synthetic that's shutting it down. And it's a beautiful rhythm to be connected to, because just like men biohack and do all of these things, right, with coffee or like what the hell, like there's so much shit out there that's all these clinical trials are just saying, all these fads, all these diets for men. But if you know yourself as a woman, you can biohack the same way. Because, I'm in follicular phase, that's new things. Oh, I'm in ovulatory phase, that's like, I got it going on phase. That's the most fertile. Luteal phase, again, get shit done. It's the longest phase. People call it the bitch phase. But in my opinion, that's if you're imbalanced, you'll have PMS. But it's also like people see women getting shit done. And they're like, oh, she's a bitch. Oh, she has boundaries. She's a bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, you actually said what you meant instead of what would be appropriate to say. You're a bitch.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, there's that. And then, of course, menstrual, which is so necessary to be able to get shed and let go of what's no longer necessary. So you're not moving forward with a bunch of crap.
So how do you get started if you want to sit down and get started and track your own?
Yeah. So definitely be off of, like I said, any kind of synthetic things that are influencing the cycle. But you would start really simply, and there's all kinds of apps, but you can start, that would be like a very easy way. You can also start like a more advanced doing the temperature way, taking your temperature, because then you'll know exactly when, okay, I'm ovulating, because it's going to be, I think, like 0.4 or higher.
Yeah. I think it's like 0.4 to 0.8.
Yeah. There's Leah Brueggemann. There's all kinds of different like details you can totally nerd out on. And Flow Living is Alyssa VT's Instagram. Very helpful resource. But if you want to get started, again, it's listening to your body. So you could consider day 1 when you bleed.
Mm-hmm.
You could consider that, okay, that's day 1 of my cycle.
Okay.
And so from there,
Checking what day I'm on.
you could count. So after menstrual, after you're done with that, and everyone's lasts a certain amount of time, but let's just say, give yourself like 5 days, right? And then you're going to be in follicular, right? So the new follicle is forming for the next cycle. You could also look at follicular as the beginning. Doesn't really matter which one. And then from there, it can be 3 to 5 days of that. Ovulation, you will know again because you're going to have cervical fluid if you are ovulating. So you'll notice, maybe some slimy
egg
moisture.
Wait, egg white? Is that what we call it? Egg
Yeah.
yolking or something like that? Yeah.
Cervical fluid, you'll know, and you'll be more, again, this is starting to know your body. Oh, am I wanting to go out with people more? Am I wanting to communicate? Or things are just flowing off the tongue.
Is my man hotter?
Do I want to have sex more?
How do you get so hot all of a sudden?
Because literally it's hard for people to get, it's kind of amazing we have all these babies and stuff, because really you have to have sex during ovulate. Of course, like there's miracles and all kinds of stuff. But
And it's a short
it's like a
window.
4-day, 3-day, 2 days sometimes, like
I
window.
think it's like about 6 days.
Yeah.
Because a female, I only know this because I had 2 boys. And when I decided I wanted to have a girl, my ex said, you had 1 chance.
Oh.
And so I was like, okay, I'm going to make it. And I just went to the science of it. I got the book, How to Choose the Sex of Your Baby. And I only read the science part of it. And so a girl's sperm can live 72 hours.
Wow.
And then you can ovulate for up to 3 days.
Holy shit.
So it's really like, in order for me to we had sex, you have a lot of sex. And there's a little bit of like male sperm are skinnier,
Right.
they're faster, but
And
they die
one's
faster.
One's chosen.
They sit at the top of the nutsack more. So
Right.
it was encouraged to have a lot of sex leading up to that 30-day mark.
Right.
And then no sex
Right.
for like at least 7 days,
Right.
at least a week.
Right.
And so we did that. We had a lot of sex and then we got our girl. And I stopped.
Yeah.
I stopped at 72 hours because I thought,
There you
well,
go.
first time I'll try 72 hours. You know what I mean? And doing the temperature.
Doing the temperature.
That's how I.
That's how you get really
That's
exact.
sexy
Yeah.
science figure up in there.
Well, especially if you're trying to conceive, it's so important.
Yeah. But yeah. I guess if you're just having a lot of sex, then
Yeah.
your chances are higher.
Yeah.
Well, and I always thought too, it's cool that, and it's illustrated by what you're saying, it's not
Yeah.
always the first one to get there.
Mm-mm.
One is chosen.
Yeah.
One is chosen by
Well,
the egg, and it's like you're literally chosen to be here.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
chosen.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And literally,
we do learn that in school.
Right.
You know what I mean? 'Cause
I
they
didn't learn it like
they
that.
do talk about that in sex ed. They talk about like how there's like an outer boundary of border or something, and it just will not let that sperm like
Mhm.
get in.
Mhm.
And then the one that comes in and
one is chosen. One is chosen. Yeah.
so it's interesting. It really is interesting.
Yeah, I love that so
Yeah.
much. It's awesome.
I think it's so cool. I like science.
Oh, I do too. I
Me
do too.
too. Me too.
You're wildly knowledgeable, and you've written a book too, haven't you?
I have.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
did.
Tell us about your book.
I did. It's an augmented reality. It's an art book. Okay. Let's not get it twisted. But yes, there's writing in there because I do writing with each of my pieces. I live by the phases of the female hormonal cycle, which we were just talking about, and have this series every phase. And it was inspired, and the book was too. The book captures the first year of the Every Phase series. And the Every Phase series was inspired by a lot of the things we were just chatting about. I'm so fucking frustrated. Like, you see all these every days, like every day, gotta get all this shit done by the end of the day. Like, every day, a sketch a day, a word a day. It's like a day. The 24-hour cycle is so like the 9 to 5. And that's the same cycle testosterone follows. It's very high around 9 o'clock in the morning. Oh, imagine that. Imagine that. Our whole world is not just some kind of woke feminist thing that I'm saying. Actually true. It was built for men, the working world. 5 p.m. is happy hour. Oh, that's when people are getting off work because testosterone's going down. So I was so frustrated by these everyday products. I was like, you know what? And fucking Beeple, the NFT artist Beeple, had just sold his Everydays project for, it was the most expensive NFT at the time. It was like $170 million or something.
I remember hearing about that.
And I was like, you know what? Fuck every day. I'm going to do every phase.
Yeah.
It was like the feminine response to that whole, not like people knows who I am or anything. I was like, I'm going to do it for about the equivalent 13 years because he did his 5,000 days. What's the equivalent? About 13 years. So instead of doing a piece a day like he did for every day, 5,000 days, I was going to do a piece. And we're still in this front in the series. We're in like year 5, every phase. And so the piece is going to represent, I'm living the art. I'm living what I do. So it represents what's happening in the brain and the body during each phase and how to biohack and leverage the energy in your life. And we're in year 5 now, but it's literally like each piece will have writing. So like the message that's channeled from that phase, or like what I'm living and what I'm doing, what the piece represents, and helpful advice on like how to leverage energy in that phase as well. And then there's art to go along with it. So the book is augmented reality interactive, and it captures the first year.
Oh, cool.
And I'm so critical of myself. I'm like, oh, it needs to be better. It needs to be this and this. So I'll do more books. I'm going to do a huge anthology at the end of the 13 years. But so when you scan some of the pages, they have a little marker and directions at the front. When you scan some of the pages, the artwork will jump off the page or live this whole other life digitally.
Whoa, that's cool.
It's cool. Yeah. So it's, again, it's mirroring the kind of world of the digital, not only like digital and physical world, but then the world of the non-physical and physical.
Yeah.
Like our intuition and what we know, what's bigger than us, the bigger part of us, and then the very physical reality that we're living in now. And all of that is mirrored in our bodies and in our cycles. So that's a little bit about what the book goes into, and it is called Face Your Shit, Heal Yourself.
Yeah.
So
you just kept the theme. I like that though, when you stay on theme and stay on point.
Yeah, I launched it with the podcast. If you subscribe, you will see each month a different piece, each phase, and everything that I just described. So the series is continuing. It is a living piece of artwork, and it will continue, for the next 13 years. We're in year 5. I'm bad at math, so that's however many years left, 7 years.
Yeah. Oh, as far as for 13 years?
7.
8 years. 8 years, yeah.
Right.
And your podcast
would be
is the same name, right?
Yeah.
It's the same name.
Face Your Shit, Heal Yourself podcast. Yes. Yeah.
We have questions from listeners.
Oh, I wanted to.
Go for it.
No,
go for it. Yeah, no, I want you to.
How was it going to SCAD?
Oh, yeah.
I want to go to SCAD, and they talk about it, and you actually got to live it. So I want you to talk about it to the people a little bit.
Yes. I love SCAD. Love SCAD.
That's awesome.
Love SCAD. I loved SCAD too, and I feel like this may be true for many creative people because it is like Hogwarts. It is a bubble. It is a bubble, of there's the Hogwarts world where you're there at SCAD, and then there's everyone else outside. The real world. That is true. That is true. And not saying, of course, it is a wonderful name and there's prep there for the real world. But like, I think it's something lacking across the board in all creative education today is business education. I will say, yes, SCAD did help me more creatively than in business, but not to say it didn't help me at all. But especially having those credentials and the name that SCAD has created. Has gone a long way. But to that point, building your portfolio and finding your voice as an artist is something it's very hard to teach, and it's a journey you definitely want to have. You want to have guidance on, you want to have these different arenas and different rivers, different streams to go down, and that's what SCAD did. It's not really like how to think, or it's not what to think, it's more of how to think, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. So it is, and again, it depends on the major too. I'm a photography major. I was almost a painting minor, and it depends on who you are and your voice as an artist. But really developing that they'll push you through the ringer. Like I'm not going to say a lot of people drop out of SCAD. People get in, but a lot of people drop out because everyone goes there and is like, was the best at art in their high school or whatever. And, is like, things that come easy to us, but it's like, everyone's like that there. And it's not just about that. It's okay. So like, you're really good at like this craft. It's okay. Now you want to become an artist, which isn't just being good at your craft. Like that's, artisan, right? Craft, artist, more expanded thinking. And that's just in a nutshell, but it absolutely helped me so much. So much, and still helps me to this day. I am going to be starting as an adjunct professor at Mercer University.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank
Congratulations.
you.
You're doing all the things.
I know.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I'm so, like I said, I love Macon so much, and I became friends with people in circles there. So it's just a wonderful community, and my knowledge from SCAD has definitely helped in doing that. And I'm obsessed with talking about art and creativity with people. So it's like, oh, what a gift to share that. But it's interesting you asked that because I have been revisiting like how I was in school now that I'm like on the other.
Making you force your energy back in,
Yeah, like it's a whole other world now being on the other end of now being professor.
Yeah, that's so cool though. That's really exciting.
It's really cool. Yeah.
That's the thing about this area. I think that like when you're living in this area, you can't perceive it, but then when you come to this area, it's like an amazing like little portal where you can make things happen. And a lot of people always ask me like, oh, you think you'll ever leave this area? I'm like, I don't really see myself leaving. I saw myself leaving everywhere else, like you were saying, you know what I mean? And I never really felt like anywhere was home.
Yeah.
But here I'm like, I don't know. This is the closest I've ever gotten to a home, like you said.
Yes. Yeah.
And I never see myself leaving.
Yeah.
Because things happen here.
I said that too because the move was just so atrocious. I was like, we're never.
We're not moving.
We're not, like, I don't care. We'll get a second house. We'll get a third house. But let me just tell you, I am never leaving this house.
Yeah.
So I totally feel you there. And then, of course, the community was just like grounded and even more to that.
And there's like an energetic portal, like I said, like things are happening. Who knows if you would have stayed in Atlanta?
Yeah.
You would not become like an art professor, probably, you know?
Probably not. It cycles. It cycles. It was a totally different mindset in Atlanta. And it's a lot more sharks. It's a lot more like how I was saying before. I think, and again, that's like this part of big city, but like people trying to prove something with this idea of competition, like in my opinion, competition becomes irrelevant when you know who you are.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, and that's in Atlanta, it's a lot of insecurity, which you see as competition. And that's where you see the sharks. And that's where you see this backstabbing and stuff like that. And a lot
it's like
of
that in all big cities. I don't like I love going to a big city. I love the energy of a big city and I love getting the hell out of there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's just, I like to go back to my little country bubble.
Well, it's nature. It's like the real world. It's,
Yeah.
And of course, I love, like you're saying, like these neighborhoods in Atlanta that will always be a part of my heart.
Yeah.
And I needed to experience
that's
that.
me in California. There's parts in California, LA, all those places. I'm like, I love those places. I have so many great memories, but I'm not.
But where I live, I'm like, needed to be away.
Yes.
And it took a while to learn that. But that's, again, just part of the experience. I don't regret it all. I loved SCAD Atlanta. I think I would have had a totally different experience, speaking of SCAD in Savannah. Not to say I love Savannah. It's beautiful, but it's totally different. And it was a lot smaller at SCAD Atlanta. So I really got the teaching
really cool.
and connections. And then the community is just different than in Savannah.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. I know there's going to be a lot of listeners who are excited to hear about what it was like being a part of it. And I think that was such a great, it's just Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Hogwarts that's how I would describe it. And if everyone, we all want that as creators.
That's what I'm saying.
We
Yeah.
are dying for that. So getting that was like the community and the camaraderie that like, oh my God, there's other people like me. And you're surrounded. Like if you're a normal person at SCAD, you're the outcast. Like you can't be normal. And I'm just putting a very slang terms, but you know what I mean. It's so much creativity. So it's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah. And I'm excited that you guys even have listener questions like
we have
that.
listener questions. Yeah.
You want to do this now?
Yeah, you
Oh,
want to
yeah,
we're ready.
Okay.
Sorry, I was that crazy privacy screen.
I was like getting into the conversation. I lost track of what I was doing. Okay, so this one is anonymous. Hey, I saw your prompt regarding asking questions about PCOS or endometriosis. As someone with PCOS, I wanted to ask what specific foods help aid the symptoms of PCOS, and honestly, just any general information regarding what can help PCOS.
Yeah.
When I was diagnosed, I was handed a sheet with all the foods I couldn't eat, and that was about it. So any beneficial info would be appreciated.
Wow. Well, first of all, the fact that you were handed a sheet.
I know. My daughter has it, and we never were handed any sheets.
Holy shit. Okay. There are some amazing resources. There's some episodes. Rocha from Ladywell, there's an episode with her, an amazing resource. I would immediately go out and get Woman Code and In the Flow, those 2 books that I mentioned earlier, to have an understanding of what is happening. Because no matter what, endometriosis, PCOS, fibroids, any of that, you're going to have a full understanding of what is happening hormonally, like how your body works, how your hormones work. So incredibly important. And in there, they go through the different phases and different foods and different modalities and different things to do during each phase, because that's really the root cause of all of this, again, is hormonal imbalance.
Okay.
Right. So to understand our hormones, we have to understand what's even happening during each phase. We have to understand ourselves. But to just baseline some nutrition and food that even just not even women's health, but everyone should be following, the seed oils. I don't know if you guys had heard this conversation come up. It's becoming popular now.
Yeah, but you should avoid them.
Vegetable oil, canola oil, soybean oil, rapeseed oil, any of those oils, high palm oil, high oleic, sunflower oil, any oil that is not, let me put it this way, any oil that is not coconut oil, avocado oil, ghee, which is like clarified butter, like real butter, olive oil.
If you can get it in a pure form, because a lot of them is seed-based, unfortunately.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they'll sneak it in. See, now you're seeing these chip companies and different crackers and all of that be like, made with avocado oil or even mayo. But then it'll be like, avocado oil will be like the 4th ingredient. The first one will be canola oil or something.
Yeah.
So you still have to read. But immediately, if you cut seed oils out of your life, and especially soy, because of what they have done to soy, this is another thing, like soy is like wheat. It's not even that either are bad. It's what they have done.
Yeah,
to wheat.
It's more textile now than a food.
It's horrible because of the GMO.
The same way.
Yeah, because of the genetic modification. Seed oils, I can just say right off the bat for everyone, especially with people with autoimmune, cut these seed oils out of your life. You turn, and it's usually in crackers, chips, but it'll again be in your salad dressing.
It's in what we eat at restaurants.
Oh, all
Because
restaurants
they use
fried foods.
Yes, all fast food, except for there are a few now going back to beef tallow.
Wonderful. Yeah, Steak and Shake, I think.
Steak and Shake goes.
Did.
They went
So you
back.
can have those.
Yeah, I think Shake Shack did too. Yeah.
That's it though. Seed oils is huge, and not just for PCOS, endometriosis, because it causes those things. Seed oils, it literally causes autoimmune disorders, but also, so seed oils, fragrance, your beauty and bath.
Giving up my perfume, okay? I'm sorry. I don't
That's
care
fine.
who you are.
I'm just saying, but Febreze is literally tested spray on endometriosis. Febreze. The way that it disrupts your hormones, get rid of your Febreze, all of your laundry stuff that has fragrance in it, synthetic fragrance. If you have fragrance, use essential oils, which is real fragrance, right? So it's not just you have to smell bad or anything, but the beauty industry is not regulated at all. Like they literally can just put poison in a minuscule amount and be like, oh, it's fine. It's just a little bit. And there's a whole episode I have on that. Face Your Shit, Heal Yourself. It's with L of Same Skincare. And the title, I'm trying to remember the title because it's very clever. But I don't remember it now. But it was all about like health and beauty, disrupting your hormones. And that's a huge one because what we're spraying on, like hairsprays, it's so bad. But there's some great resources. If you subscribe to my email list, I give resources of not only the ingredients to look for, but the different brands. You can just replace everything. And you can save money. Because a lot of these cleaners and this crap that costs money, you can make them and they won't harm you.
Yeah.
You can make them with very simple
Yeah,
ingredients.
because I think Febreze, you can just do vodka, distilled water, and essential oil.
Yeah.
And it does the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It's very simple, these things, and they want you to think like they have some magical power. They don't. But I would say off the bat, for autoimmune, my God, those are just pumping people full of poison. And I know that's very vague, but
No, I think that's great information, especially if you had to like get one stat.
just seed oils and go through your cabinet, your shampoos, your all your beauty stuff. Yeah.
Do you think maybe like nightshade, like anything inflammatory, maybe?
So
I feel like personally they get a bad rap.
Yeah.
right.
And
There's
I
arguments.
don't know if I necessarily, I feel like anything that's of the earth is of the earth.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, have they done things to are of the earth that now they're not all of the earth anymore, per se? Yes. But I still feel like that's the closest we can get to. My body personally feels the best when I eat potatoes. You know what I mean? And the one thing is, it goes back to that whole argument. Nightshades all carry a lot of nicotine, and they're trying to say nicotine is bad for us. And now there's a bunch of research coming back that says that actually nicotine is very good for us.
Right.
And nicotine detoxifies us from all this poison that we're putting into our body constantly.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So they tell us to stay away from the things that I think are the best for us a lot of the time.
So not cigarettes, but nicotine, like pure nicotine.
Yeah.
Well, and
cigarettes have chemicals.
it depends too. So again, this is a great example, the nicotine of like high fructose corn syrup and corn. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you extract something, which nature never does,
Yeah.
from corn, it's completely different
Yeah.
chemically.
Yeah.
So the same thing with nicotine. If you have an organic tobacco plant and you are using it medicinally and there's natural nicotine in there, hell yeah, there's health benefits.
Yeah.
And Native Americans have been using tobacco medicinally for thousands of years.
Thousands of years.
Totally. So yeah, there are.
And they were
but-
getting lung cancer and all these things.
But we do not use it that way. We do not take, we make cigarettes, we extract and lab and all this stuff. So yeah, that's why you'll see like these sides of arguments, because we're not just taking the whole food. It's very important. I think just the basic is to just have whole foods
Yeah.
that aren't just chemicals that you can't read, all of that shit. And then leaky gut is the other thing of the nightshade conversation. And also will totally contribute to hormonal issues, like weight loss issues, all that.
But leaky gut also goes back to a lot of us don't have enough magnesium because they've been telling
100%.
us to stay away from salt for all these years.
100%.
And I will talk to somebody till they're blue in the face. Well, I have high blood pressure, so I can't have salt. Okay, great. So what happens when you go into hypertension?
Right.
What are they giving you?
Right.
Oh, they're going to give me the fluid.
Right.
Well, what's in that fluid? It's salt water.
Right. And it's and get another great thing, magnesium glycinate,
Yeah.
for specifically for pelvic pain, any kind of pain, specifically for hormones. That completely changed. It was a huge part of my healing journey with endo. And it's a supplement I still take because it's hard to get magnesium sometimes. So yeah, magnesium glycinate. Do not get the cyanocobalamin in fucking Kruger. Don't. Oh, we won't even have a conversation. Anyway, it's like they'll literally just recycle poop and put. We won't even go to the cyano conversation with the B12 and all of that. But anyway, get the magnesium glycinate, and then if the prefix of anything that you see when you turn around the bottle is cyano, put it down.
Yeah, put it down.
Put it down.
Yeah.
Put it down. Yeah.
All right, we got one more. If a multi-parter though,
Okay,
we're gonna go through them really slow.
Okay.
All right, Tegan asks, what symptoms of PCOS or endometriosis that are the most commonly misdiagnosed or ignored as unrelated?
I think PMS and more emotional, just pain, menstrual pain in general is just dismissed.
There's a chance I have endometriosis because they thought I had cancer when I had my whole thyroid issue because I had all the cysts,
There you go.
all the fibroids, and then I had a thick uterus. And so they were saying, oh, you're stage 3 or 4 cancer. And they did a biopsy on my uterine wall and there was nothing wrong with me. And they never, and I had the heavy periods, the bad cramping, all that stuff, long periods.
Right.
Periods coming every 2 weeks sometimes,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And they would be so heavy and I was so depleted. And me personally, an ablation helped. But I think even with my issues, since it was just a masked situation, I still have pretty heavy periods and I have cramping and all that kind of stuff, but it's better.
Yeah.
And you're probably right about that glycinate, because I just started taking it so I had some really amazing dreams in early November, and I'm like, okay, pack on that glycinate so I can get those amazing dreams back. But then this last period was amazing. So
did you drink it, or is it like a compress?
I took the pill.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, and I just to echo that, just pain, it is going to be dismissed by general
pain, heavy
practitioners.
periods, frequent periods.
All of that. And this is really the problem with, again, women's health. And it's changing. It is changing as we speak.
Thankfully.
Many truths are being revealed inconveniently for the best. And it's not to make people, it's food and health. It's like viewed as a religion almost. One of the most interesting things when on this healing journey and reaching a point where I could say like, oh my God, I'm healed of endo, it would like trigger people. Like it triggers I remember thinking back then, like I would kill for someone that knew the answers that I know now.
Yeah.
Like I would be like, oh my God, you've done this? Holy shit, I want to talk to you. I want to meet with you. I want to like,
how much can I pay you? I mean, what do we need to do here?
But now it's like, answers maybe about breast cancer, maybe about all kinds of stuff. And people will get pissed. They'll get pissed. And you've seen it. A lot of it's ending now with RFK, with legislation, with things that are coming out and being proven that, crazy herbalist hippie people have known for 30 years.
Conspiracy theorists, we're in our heyday.
The facts. It's not even like trying to be right. It's like just the facts. And it's like when you ask yourself, like, what is being stubborn and rigid going to cost me? Is it worth it? Is ignorance worth it?
Do you think people push back a little bit because it's like it's like you're challenging something, do you think? Or
because they're getting something. Well, this could be a whole episode.
This is a loaded question. Me personally, and this, I think maybe I was overspeaking you, but to me, I feel like we all know things changed in 1912.
Sure.
And there's been a brainwashing in all of our education, which I am one of those weird hippie moms. I never was. I wanted my kids we had to attend school. I wanted them to do as good of a job they could do, but I was never like one of those moms that were like, if you don't bring home A's and B's, you know what I mean? Like, you're not eating for a week, or there's no punishments like that. Because I don't believe in our educational system, unfortunately. I feel like it's corrupt. And I felt like it was corrupt way back when I was in school. And I've always felt that way. So you have all these people who are just a bunch of little blind sheep, and they're told by their doctors, or they're told by their teachers, or they're told by these authority figures, no, this is what's right. But our body's rejecting it. And there's so many diseases coming out, and there's so many things coming out. And there's so much proof that was never right. But nobody wants to wash their brain from the brainwashing, the original brainwashing. You know what I mean? But I think there is a whole now slew of people coming into an awakening, I guess you can say, where you're finally like, wait, we live in a spiritual world. There's healing in frequencies. I say it all the time. I'm picky about my music that I like to listen to, because there's frequency in music, and I've been sensitive to it my whole entire life. You know what I mean? Or certain foods. I've been sensitive to these things my whole life. And it was my thyroid issue that really started opening up my eyes, because my thyroid was broken. I didn't have a disease connected to my thyroid.
Right.
So a doctor couldn't find my issue. And I've talked about it on the podcast before. They would test me, and all my numbers will come out right.
Right. Yes, this is another thing.
But I'm not right.
Right.
And I went on weight. I was running after I had my kid. I only gained 14 pounds. I was running after having him. I started Weight Watchers. I was running almost 7 miles, 3 to 4 days a week. Okay. I gained 30 pounds starting Weight Watchers in a month. And the doctor was like, that's not possible.
And this is something functional medicine addresses. Naturopaths will address it.
Yeah.
Western medicine will never.
We're all on our journey for doing that too. This is our journey. She already saw the functional. I saw the acupuncture. Now she's waiting to see the acupuncture, and I'm waiting to see the functional doctor.
And it's something functional medicine and naturopaths will address the gut. They'll address leaky gut. That's the tip of the iceberg, because that's a lot of not only hormonal but weight loss issues.
Oh, I feel like the leaky gut is
It's like 80% of Americans.
the lack of salt in our diet and the
Yeah.
damage that has done.
Yeah.
I mean, heartburn, stomach acid issues,
Yes.
IBS,
IBS, Crohn's, all of it.
Crohn's,
Curable.
yes,
Curable.
diverticulitis,
Curable.
all
Yeah.
these things. And
Curable.
yet, what do they say? Hey, I got a drug. Oh, that's not working. Well, I got another drug. Oh, that's not working.
I know.
I have a surgeon. Let's cut it out.
And so it goes back to answer the question completely,
Yeah.
it goes back to why would people get mad? To put it very bluntly and also softly, because they're getting something out of being the way that they are.
Mhm.
That's why you don't want to change. Well, and also emotionally.
Yeah.
What are you getting out of when we do a coping mechanism for pain or whatever? So you have to be ready to face this stuff. But what are you getting out of saying that I have this disease and going around not having the cure? People are getting something from it. You're getting,
And
you
it
know,
takes work.
takes work. You
It
have
takes
to.
work. It's so much easier to say, I'm going to go to my doctor and get a pill.
You're no longer a victim when you're free and all that. You're responsible. So like, it's like you say, freedom triggers slave people. So it's like the same thing of, I know the answer, but I think, you know, what I would ask people, and it goes along with this whole endometriosis and PCOS question, is like, when I asked myself this, when I started to see why, I wonder why they saw or other people saw and I didn't. Because the answer to that question will reveal what has control over you. Do you know what I'm saying?
Point.
really
Like,
powerful.
who's really driving the
powerful.
car? Why did I not see at that time? Why did I not want to look? And maybe I didn't even know that I didn't want to look because was I scared? You know, was it a lot of the time it's that, because I don't know, because there may be more pain, all that. But being real, that's what I say at the end of every show, the truth will set you free.
Yeah.
Being real with that, just that
Yeah.
is going to break open a new answer and a new revealing beyond just, okay, I need to take magnesium glycinate or I need to look up leaky gut or any of that. But just like, what has me, because that's part of the disease that is completely ignored by Western medicine, because people that are sovereign like that cannot be controlled. People that know how they're manipulated and know how not to be cannot be messed with. They can't be controlled. So they don't want people recognizing those deeper parts of themselves.
Yeah.
But it's truly, again, the truth will set you free. It is
Yeah.
what it is what the answer is to like all of it, really.
Powerful, deep stuff, y'all. What other options can be explored before endometriosis? It seems like hysterectomy is the only and first option offered by doctors.
Yeah.
What signs should we look out for in our teens as early indicators outside of heavy periods that they may develop PCOS and endo? And there's a few more after this, 2 more after this. So this is all in the same question. So I don't want to overwhelm you, but
No
one
worries.
step by step.
There is a shot, not that I want to go into this, but there is a
God.
shot that actually does encourage endometriosis. And if you look it up, it's one of the side effects.
Oh, wow.
So
There's
I
so
try to
many.
guard against people
There's
having
so many.
their kids get that,
Wow.
you know.
Okay.
And I learned that from my daughter.
Yeah.
She had great periods. She didn't have any issue. And then she took that shot one time. And a couple months later, she was like, worse pain, worse period. All of a sudden
there's a
started
shot
having
you're
all
talking-
these issues.
Yes, I know what you're talking
Yep.
about.
And then I
Yeah.
looked it up and it's right there. If you go
Right.
to the side effects of the drug, it says right there in plain sight.
And cancers.
Yeah.
Certain
A
like
lot of-
ovarian
a lot of
cancers.
people.
There's side effects like death is a side effect. Oh, but you won't have the disease because you'll be dead.
So what's funny though is it does say ovarian cancer, and yet it's a drug to prevent ovarian cancer. Like,
Oh, I know.
okay, well, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So signs to look for: painful
Yeah.
period.
Yeah.
If you can't walk, like I get, if you have to stay in bed, if you can't go to work, if you can't go to school, that is, no matter what, if you have endometriosis, PCOS, or some kind of diagnosis, it's not normal. We need to eliminate this whole myth that is just some kind of burden for women and pain and all of this stuff. No, of course, being okay with pain, that could be a whole other episode. Pain, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah. And you're talking
But
beyond like
I'm
cramping.
talking about like, yeah, but when you get to a certain point and how really balanced people, painless periods where you just bleed, maybe have some dilation, but I'm talking about if you have to even take something, Like, and there's a spectrum there, right, of what people are okay with. But certainly if you're calling out of something, you need to look into some of these resources because it's not normal. It is not normal to have pain. It's common. It's common now, but it's not normal at all. If you're throwing up, if you are having like really bad stools, like stuff's coming out of both ends, all ends, like food poisoning, that is another, like, that's not normal either. That's definitely something to look out for with anything though, even if you're not diagnosed. I think that, pain, back pain, everything. There's so many different things, like skin, if you're breaking out a lot. This is all just signs of hormonal imbalances. Again, the things that we've come to accept as like, oh, it's just a normal part of being a woman. And of course, it's different in puberty and different hormones and different things, but it's not actually. Pain is not actually a part. Pain with sex, big one. Any kind of pelvic pain. And that's something that goes unaddressed. If you're having pain, even with tampons or anything like that, first of all, make sure you are using unbleached organic tampons or
because
period underwear or a cup.
Tampons are a whole other story.
It's a whole other episode. We come up with so
tampons.
No, I think it's great. I think it's great to have this discussion.
I do hate the fact that doctors just rush straight to let's cut it out.
Yeah,
let's cut it out.
Let's cut out an organ that literally that you cut out.
You're not making babies. You don't need it.
It's almost guaranteed you'll get Alzheimer's or some kind of, because of the effect that it has on your brain. And again, this is I'm not a doctor, okay? I'm talking from lived experience and the resources that I have, but go look into this world for yourself because you're your own inner authority, not me, not me. I'm just telling you what I've learned and how certain facts, certain medical facts, but
a lot of people don't want to hear it though. Like when I talk about the shot and stuff like that, I'm like, it's right there on the website. I'm not.
It's right there.
I'm trying to be a conspiracy theorist with this one. You know what I mean? They advertise it, but so many go, oh no, no, it's not there.
I know.
And I hate the fact, like you said, that they're just so quick to cut it out, and they're not realizing the long-term effects. It goes back to like how they were so quick to just cut out the gallbladders. You know, not even really understanding what the gallbladder does and how it pertains to the body. You know what I mean? Oh, no, you don't need it. Cut it out. And then these people have the same issue.
And they'll get mad when you say, maybe you should look deeper into some of this.
Oh, yeah.
Because they may have to face their own. They're too insecure to face like, oh, I made a mistake or I did this or whatever. No one's perfect. I went both routes.
Yeah.
You know, I went the Western medicine route, failed at every turn.
Yeah.
I went the holistic route. Oh, magically, because we're working off truth with my body, things started to happen. So you can't just, no one's perfect, but to just sit, again, I would ask, what is ignorance costing you? What is it costing you?
And if you're going the natural route, it takes time.
It does take time.
If you are going the synthetic fat route, it's going to be fast because it's going to be a Band-Aid, but it's not ever going to get healed.
It's
you're
like
going to create other issues. If you're going a natural route, so many people are like, oh, well, I did that and nothing's changed. How long has it been?
I've said that.
A month.
I've said that.
You know what I mean? And I try to tell everybody, on average, it's going to take you at least 3 months for your body to heal. But you got to remember, you're coming back from how many years of how you've been treating it. You know what I mean?
And it's like you're racking up debt. It's just like a credit card. You get that purchase, but you're going to owe. And
you're
that's
going to owe.
You're
So you're paying somehow.
Because you're skipping the truth. You're not going to the source and fixing that.
Yeah.
You're going over, so you got to borrow from over here now. And that's, you get side effects. So it's the same concept of debt. Your body's racking up debt. Whenever you are ignoring the root cause.
I'm stealing that, by the way. I am stealing that.
When
I'm going to be your body has racked up how much debt?
How much debt?
And you want it to be healed? You want to pay off all that debt just instantly?
Your health is your wealth. Your health is your wealth.
Yeah, it is. Amen, girl.
This one you guys already touched on, what supplements are best for overall uterine and hormone balance.
Yeah, magnesium glycinate, definitely recommend. Iron.
Have you touched on the Insoterol? Have you heard about that one?
No.
Okay. No. There's a lot of doctors talking about that. So I was just wondering what, like healthy doctors.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Not.
Is it like a supplement?
I don't know about that, but I do know specifically for endometriosis, and there's actually studies on this, that it dissolved endometriosis. And I have this, if you subscribe to my email, the whole article. And I had this lady, she wrote Heal Endo. Wonderful resource, Katie Edmonds. N-acetylcysteine and glycine, NAC plus glycine, is by pure encapsulation. You can get it on Amazon, dissolves endometriosis. I took this. Holy crap. Yeah. Definitely made a difference. That is a supplement, very, very specific. I would still even possibly try that when you read and educate yourself, even if you didn't specifically have endometriosis, because both of those things are just so good.
Right.
But it's a protocol that you take 1 or 2 scoops a day in water. And so, but what I'm curious about, what is this that you're talking about?
I don't know. I was just wondering if you knew anything about it, because
Okay.
I've heard a lot of doctors pushing it, including I followed Dr. Berg. That's how I found it. So originally when I got diagnosed, it was by a holistic doctor, but then he like ended up moving and giving his practice to his niece, and she just never really understood things the way he did.
Got you.
So I went to an endocrinologist, and it was just like, they're just like,
Yeah.
oh, the drugs are working. The drugs working. Then keep taking the drug.
My neurotheater one only that it seems to be okay. Well, imagine that.
Yeah.
Because it's written by the drug company. Okay, great.
Yeah, which it was the more natural one.
Right. Okay.
And it did help me with a lot of the symptoms I was having. But then I started creating new ones,
Okay.
which was like the memory loss, the brain fog,
Yes.
the leg cramps that nobody talks about when you have a thyroid issue.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm miserable. I'm laying awake at night. My legs hurt so bad. Like, I have to do that. So
Yeah.
when I moved from California to Georgia, I was no longer connected to any doctors who were constantly hounding me, because I was like, oh, bye, I'm moving. I'll find my doctor there. You know what I mean? And I was just like, I just want to start fresh, and I want to do it natural with like diet and exercise. So I started just researching. I wish I would have known about the phases. I think that would have helped me. But hey, I'm on it now. That's my new journey, which I had started the journey before we were talking about meeting, but I haven't been serious about it, because I did start thinking about that, like, you know, anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know, but he recommends it.
Okay.
So I was just wondering if you had heard about it. Or
What's it called again?
Insoteral? It's Insoteral, I think.
We'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
So
What
That's
are your thoughts on testosterone treatment? That seems to be a trendy cure-all right now for middle-aged women.
It is a
okay, it made me gain 20 pounds, so I'm not a big,
Oh my
huge.
I'm like, oh, I just.
I am not a big, huge fan of it. Did it increase my energy? I don't really know if I can say if it did or not.
Did it make you want to have sex more?
Okay.
People have said this.
I already have a very high sex drive.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you kappa? That's not just an Ayurveda in there.
I don't know. I need to do mine. We did it, but I don't know.
Kappa is probably one of your main two. I feel like
You're probably I think you're Pitta Kappa.
I
You're
think
more
she's Pitta
Pitta.
Kappa too.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyways, I will say one day I was like, holy cow, what is happening to my body right now? But it was only one day out of the 4 months, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I already have I have an incredibly high sex drive. So that's not, I didn't, but I did gain weight. And when I said that to the doctor that gave it to me, he was, oh, I've never heard of that before. And I was like, oh, well, that's usually how my body works.
Doesn't fit. Burn her. I know this. Burn them.
Must be a witch.
God.
The drugs didn't work. It must be a witch. You're out of here.
But it is trendy.
Yeah.
It's trendy to do all the outside in things to create progesterone. And I'm not saying that there can't be relief from that. Listen, like when it took me a lot, I still had to get Lortab, oxycodone, because the pain was so great, and do some of these like outside things to just be able to even fucking listen, to be able to even sit with and go through. But you start with where you are, with what you have, and it's a journey, and you add in and you start detoxing, and maybe it's just seed oils that you try, and maybe then it's another thing, and you climb up the staircase and you start feeling better and better. And you just stay consistent with that. But it's not, again, it's not this pill for an ill thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I take testosterone. Yeah. Magically, I have no more of this going on, because that, again, is the debt conversation.
Yeah.
If you're not treating the root cause of what is happening, you're going to rack up debt somewhere.
And I highly encourage, if you can get a hold of a functional doctor, if you could afford
Functional
a functional
medicine. Yeah.
go to get your hormones tested,
Yes.
get your vitamins and your minerals, your nutrients, get these things tested, because I, for one, have not. That is a goal that I have for this year, is that I, every 3 months, want to have my hormones, vitamins, my minerals tested. So I have a baseline as to what I'm doing and where I go from there. And I can build from the knowledge that I have. Because right now I'm like, oh, well, they say this works. So they say that works. They say this works. As a whole, we all know we're magnesium deficient.
Yes.
We're vitamin D deficient.
Oh my God, yeah.
Most people are zinc deficient. There's like a
B12, the whole B complex, yeah.
Our food just is not giving us the vitamins that we need anymore. Yeah. A lot of us, even if we do, there are still food that have vitamins in it. We're not eating them, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. So just starting that, and I'm not for a multivitamin. I feel like it's just been created by the Drug Administration. There's been proven studies that show that most of those are in the bottom of the sewers.
And it took a long time for me. But I did all my vitamins through the functional medicine that you're talking about. And they can test you. Yvonne's natural market in Macon, she will do muscle testing.
We've heard about her too through Lee.
She will do muscle testing right there in the aisle. So I felt the same way about multivitamins too until I found the correct one for me through functional medicine. And guess what? You can't buy it at Kroger. Most of this stuff, you're not going to be able to buy at Kroger. Like Thorne brand, it's a really good brand. You can order a lot of this on Amazon. But like she's saying, the functional medicine doctors, and I would say also pelvic floor physical therapy, if you are experiencing pain, specifically women, having hormone, that was a game changer for endometriosis. And I think people they overlook that because they're just like, oh, it's hormones. Sometimes a lot of that constricting, all that, the actual physical muscles themselves need to be worked out. People ignore their pelvic floor. How much stress we hold there. That was a game changer with pain, and it's overlooked a lot.
Did you go to a physical therapist for that?
Pelvic floor physical therapist. I have a wonderful referral. I have referrals for all of this. If anyone ever wants to reach out to me, my functional medicine doctor is in Atlanta. These people are in Atlanta. I haven't connected with, and I hope there's going to be more of this like surgeons in this area. But most of my referrals are in Atlanta.
We're getting there because we have a really great acupuncture girl. We've interviewed her on the podcast, and then we have the functional doctor.
And I've seen where I want to say that don't quote me though, that there's a physical therapist in Perry, Georgia that has a pelvic floor specialist now.
I want to say there is too. I mean, there are, if you look online, there are like exercises and stuff like that you can do, and it really does help. I've fallen away from all my things because I've been so busy lately, but that's part of my goal in 2026 is to get back into that because it really does help. You're right. So I did mine, just research online, and it helped me tremendously in a lot of ways.
For mine,
get back.
Yeah, for mine, it was more, I actually needed to go in and have someone like with the dilator and do certain exercises because 20 years of constricting and all of that crap, and you have these muscle fibers that are all like spaghetti, like grown into each other and stuff. So sometimes there is like more where it's like essentially massage, but like a physical therapy massage for your pelvic floor because that was my issue. But yeah, there you can totally do some of this stuff totally on your own, depending on how severe. Mine was really severe, so I definitely had to go to someone. So,
I have my own theory. I think that our reproductive women and men organs are like the soul of all of our health.
Totally.
Okay. And I feel like it's the first to get attacked.
Absolutely.
In the medical and food world. They're so quick to try to sterilize our children.
Absolutely.
And I think that's where all these other issues are coming. And so then that's when my common sense was like, why is that? Why are they so hell-bent on destroying this part of it? And I think honestly because, and the Chinese medicine, they really do believe that our sexual health it's like the furnace inside of us that fuels all the rest of our other parts of our body and the health of all of that. So if that's out of balance, in turn, everything else is going to be out of balance too.
And if you're listening to this and you have no resources for sure that you would recommend to people listening, email us or let us know.
Yeah.
Message us, message Meredith.
Totally.
We can or even comment when we post a photo of all of us together for this episode. Please drop in the comments, email us. We'll share. This is a collective thing. So we'll share whatever information you guys share with
Meredith.
us. Yes.
Follow Meredith. All right, Meredith.
All right.
Flipping the script. What do you want to ask us?
Oh my gosh. So I love this conversation. I'm going to ask my favorite question. a biohacking with art question.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I feel so dumb already. I don't know.
No, you're not. It's going to be so fun.
Okay.
So you each can have separate answers. So,
Okay.
but one may influence the other. We'll see. Okay. And whoever can go first, we'll see. We'll see who has the strongest urge to answer first. If you could create Unbridled Thoughts podcast as an art piece describing its impact and its identity, how would you make it?
I already know
What
her
would
brain
you
working.
choose? How would you make what? Like, I see art. I knew it would happen. Freaking Gemini.
No, I can't wait for her. I'm gonna let Ren take the lead.
Okay. So when you say this, the first thing that comes to me is like a little carnival with little booths where listeners could go and interact with a booth, and could be a game.
I love.
But it'd be a game that would reveal something about them and who they are. And it's like as they go through this little like causeway of like gameplay, they're like learning little things and like kind of going through the layers of who they are.
So like a fun house.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like a fun house. Yes.
Interactive.
Very interactive
So
fun
cool.
house.
I'm
Getting
very-
to know yourself and like falling in love with yourself, kind of a fun house.
Oh my God.
It'd be fun.
That's cool. So would there be like holograms and stuff in it?
Yeah.
Or like,
Holograms. I don't think there'd be like the wiggly mirrors. I think it would just be
Okay.
like mirrors where you could see the possibility of what it would be like if you were like your whole self.
would
And
it also
wouldn't that be the coolest mirror in the world?
Yes.
it's like the Beauty and the Beast mirror? Like, oh my God. It is. What about like sound? Is there a whole immersive?
Yeah, I guess there could be. There could be like a room you could go into and like, you know, the room would know like what your favorite sounds are. Like
Okay.
like kids running and laughing at the beach, or like, you know, one of your parents' voices like reading a
Oh, wow.
story. It's
That's
pretty
cool.
cool.
That'd be really
Like if the whole thing was intuitive and it knew you were coming, which I guess kind of could be scary, but this would be a fun house. It'd be nice.
That's cool. That's cool. And I can totally see too with like the Ayurveda connection of
Mhm.
like temple.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's different. It's different because it's more of like you're taking it in like a more casual, like fun house podcast kind of way. So
Yes.
I see the connection there. That's so cool. How about you?
Well, when you first asked that question, all I could see was a large blank canvas. And I was like, why is that the only thing I can see? It's just this large blank canvas. And then as she started talking, I was like, that's why. Is because our whole mantra is we talk to cool people doing cool shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a blank canvas and you would get to walk up to it and make it whatever it is that you want, because
Wow.
it's your opportunity
Yeah.
to do and say and be heard in however way you want. But it would be
Wow.
broadcast to many.
Wow.
So it wouldn't be just your art that you're seeing. It would be art that as you're making it, as you're talking, as you're painting, as you're drawing,
Mhm.
as you're listening.
Mhm.
Because it would you could pick whatever music you want to,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
it would be broadcast to everybody to see.
Absolutely love.
That'd be
Oh
awesome.
my God. So community driven.
Yeah.
Like we were
Mhm.
saying
Yeah.
earlier, which
Yep.
is so much of
Because it's not really about us, it's about what we want people to see and what they want the world to hear. You know what I
Mhm,
mean?
mhm.
And then the impacts that it has on people. And we've had our stories. We've only been around since April, so we're still babies. But we've had people come up to us be like, oh my goodness, you can't believe what that story, how that impacted my life, or how I can identify with that, or yada, 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 whatever the issue is. So that's what it would be, you know, just
Mhm.
whatever you want to make it. That's your blank canvas art.
that's cool. And it's like unbridled. It's literally
Yeah.
taking the belt off.
Yeah.
of
Taking the belt off.
Yeah.
Unbridled.
It's literally
Be
unbridled
whatever you
thoughts.
want.
Unbridled canvas.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
Me too.
With all the thoughts pouring out.
You know, with all the thoughts, just do whatever comes to your mind.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's
If
awesome.
it's boobs, it's boobs. If it's a garden, it's a garden.
The boob beer garden.
Clear garden. Look at that alliteration. which is a whole other RP.
And a whole other topic.
That's a bar in your RP.
Yeah.
That's the bar.
Check out these mugs.
You can take a break at the boob beer garden.
Yeah.
Boobs are art.
That's funny.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, usually I think that describes a lot about who you are when you ask about art. But I also love to ask, how you faced your shit. How you faced your shit in, what came to, instead of usually asking, like, people are like, okay, where are you from? All of these things. I feel like there's this face your shit moment in people's lives that really says all the rest. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the lead on this.
Okay.
I've been facing a lot of shit.
A lot of shit.
Love it.
Well, the first thing I had to face was I faced my shit by the fact that it's just boom, hits me in the face. So I'm like, okay, I guess I have to face it now. And you know that it's there, but you don't want to deal with it until it gets so bad that it finally. So that was like my thyroid. I was having, the first, I couldn't lose the baby weight. And I was so tired. And I was, then I tried doing Weight Watchers and I was running. And I'd ran my whole pregnancy. I ran before my pregnancy. So I just kept running, and I was gaining weight on Weight Watchers, and I'd go to my doctor. Oh, you're fine. You're fine. You just had a baby. You have 4 kids. You're fine. All your numbers are good. I'm not right, though. I'm not right. I gained 14 pounds. How did I only lose 7 when the kid's 8 pounds?
Yeah.
I should have lost more than that. Why am I gaining weight trying to diet? All these things. Then I started getting BV, bacterial RBIs, bacterial infections. Oh, you have an STD, you have this, you have that. And they kept testing me for that. And they all came back negative. And nobody would ever, why do I have these bacterial infections? I don't know. Here's your antibiotic. And then I was having like this terrible ovarian cyst pain that went on for months. And I was just like,
horrible.
Not addressing it because it was just like, I'd go to the doctor and they're just like, oh, we don't know. Well, you must have had an ovarian. Well, there's not one now. It was just never really getting any answers. But what really hit me is I'm a pretty calm, even Steven kind of person for the most part of my life. But I was on vacation with my ex.
Yeah.
And I was going to go for a run. And I was like, I'm going to go for a run. Oh, okay, well, I'm going to go for a run too. Okay. So we're walking back to the hotel to get changed, get ready, we were actually on a cruise. So we were walking back to our room to change. And I could literally feel the anger drop down into me. Like I could just feel it, just like a cloud, like drop and go through my whole entire body. And I just looked at him and I just reamed him. I was just like, you will not, motherfucker, you won't give me 1 second to my fucking self. I just want to go for a fucking run by myself. I just kind of like, and he was just like, whoa, where did this person come from? And I was like, dang, if I could do that to my ex, which was warranted most of the time, I don't want to ever take that on to where I'm doing that to like coworkers or my kids or animals or anything like that. I never dealt with anger before, really. I just am not generally, and anger is not something I feel. So that got me to go into the holistic doctor. I was actually waiting on my biopsy to get back on if I had cancer or not.
Yeah.
And I went to the holistic doctor and he immediately was like, I'm looking at you right now. I know you don't have cancer. I did the spit test. And that's when he was just like, your thyroid's broke, but they can't diagnose it because it's not connected to a disease.
Right.
But your thyroid is a gland. It can get broke. Mine got broke. My ex choked me really bad. So at that point, I'd been sitting on about 5 years of kind of feeling those symptoms and dealing with those symptoms and just not understanding where they were coming from or why. So that's how I started, okay, I'm going to look into this like nutrition. That's when I started discovering 1912. That's when I started discovering the Food and Drug Administration.
Yeah.
That our doctors on average only get 8 hours of nutrition.
That's a rude awakening.
Out of 10 years of education.
Yeah.
And even those 8 hours are only directed as to how foods and exercise affect drugs. It's not even on how food and exercise affect our body. So that was when I started my health journey. And with my ex, he finally punched me
And that's what started my exit out of my divorce.
Yeah.
And it had been 15 years since he had gotten physical with me, but I was starting that process. I was just kind of lagging.
Yeah.
Is this the
change
right
is scary,
decision?
you know?
Changes. So
Yeah.
I am the kind of person where it has to hit me in the face, and then I'm finally like, okay.
That's the Kaufman too, though.
I got to do my test.
I know Kaufman. Listen, my husband's Kaufman Vada.
Really?
And so, well, he's Vada first. Coffee. He's Vada Kaufman, which is an interesting combo since they're both opposites.
Okay.
But yeah, but thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
It's really interesting because anger teaches us where our boundaries are.
Yeah.
It's not a nice friend. It's not a pretty friend.
Yeah.
But it's a loyal friend.
Yeah.
And I think as women, it's like we're programmed. They don't want us to have boundaries, tell anyone to do anything.
Yeah.
And they don't want, again, it's the sovereign conversation. So, we're said, oh, not to feel the anger, but it's really your best friend.
Yeah.
It's just when it's repressed and stuff. There's so many different diseases, not just thyroid, but liver, breast cancers directly related to anger.
Yeah.
And like lymphatic stuff, which I'm sure you know. So it makes a lot of
there's
sense.
a whole new study too saying that they're tying cancer growth to unforgiveness.
Resentment.
So if you cannot forgive,
Totally.
that's where the cancer grows.
Exactly. And I'm pretty sure they say in Ayurveda too, one of the things in forgiveness stops the wheel of karma. So when they say, and it's not, forgiveness isn't saying it's okay,
Right.
condoning the behavior. It's setting yourself free and saying, I'm detaching from this.
Yeah, I'm letting go of it.
This is no longer a part. Yeah, it's for yourself. And people don't get that. They spend years in resentment because they think, well, if I let this go, I'm holding on because who's going to hold them accountable? Who's going to be the, they're holding on because, but they don't realize you're drinking poison and waiting for them to die.
Yeah.
They don't realize that.
Yeah.
Because they think it's for them. It's for you. It's not for them.
A lot of people ask me, like, how can I talk about these things? Because I've let go of them. I've forgiven him. You know what I mean? I know why he did the things that he did. I knew why he did the things he did when I was with him.
Yeah.
And I've forgiven him. And unfortunately, that person is living in their own hell.
Right.
You know what
God,
I mean?
yeah.
They're not, I get to be free. I'm happy. I'm free. I live in peace. You know what I mean? But when you're holding on to that unforgiveness, you're not living in peace anymore.
Absolutely.
You got to let go.
Yeah. Freedom.
It's your turn. You're in the hot seat. What makes you change?
Face and shit.
How do you face your shit? So intense.
My freedom ring over here.
I think mine started when I had to make the decision to basically go work for myself. I had worked for other people for years.
Okay.
And I was terrified to go work for myself.
Yeah.
Because then you're in charge of everything and you're responsible for everything. And that was really scary.
Yeah.
But I had to do it because I was in a situation where I really didn't have a lot of boundaries with people.
Yeah.
I was a people pleaser.
Yeah.
I was doing things at my job and my payment wasn't even entailing, like just going above and beyond, but for no reason at all. And so I got to a point where I was so stressed that one morning I woke up and I had vertigo. Like the whole room was spinning. And so then I lost my dad shortly after that. And that really put a lot of things in perspective for me.
Yeah.
Of what's important, what's finite, and what's going to be around for a while, where my priorities were going to be. And so as scary as it was, I pushed myself forward and just became a solo practitioner. And I own the Lily Room Spa in Warner Robins. And I've been doing that now for, I think 15 years now.
It's been a hot minute.
It's been a long time.
That's awesome.
And I have an amazing clientele.
Yeah.
And that I wouldn't have all that if I hadn't have just banked on myself,
Yep.
So I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah.
And I would not have met Sarah. I wouldn't have, this podcast was definitely like, it fell in our laps and it was very intimidating when it did. But I was like, you know what?
It wasn't a part of the plan.
I've tried everything else running into it ever since that moment. I've just run into stuff and it seems to have worked out. So I was like, let me just try.
That's so awesome. I totally relate. I totally relate to that after years of, working for other people. And it's like a cycle, you know, it's like it's not to say one is better than the other, but you really know, like when you're an entrepreneur, like you really know, and it becomes very painful. At a certain point to like just keep living alive. Just because everything in this world like requires the way things currently are in the society requires money, and so like you're on this kind of hamster wheel, and it's so much programming of, well, how, if I don't have this predictable way to bring in money, like, how is it going to come in? I totally understand. And it's like this ever evolving thing. And then it really forces you to look at who you are.
Yeah.
Your identity. It forces you to get like super fucking clean.
Yeah.
Super clean, because you're the one responsible for everything now.
Yeah.
It's wild too, because you start to realize, as much as I like love being self-employed, you start to realize, okay, this was hard for my employer. When you for real, like, I mean, God bless all my employers.
Yeah.
This is just a choice I had to make, and they were all awesome.
Yeah.
A lot of it was me. A lot of it was me not setting boundaries and like not saying, hey, listen, I don't think I can physically do that.
Yeah.
I just knew I wanted to, you told me what to do. I wanted to be the best at it, but that's not always healthy. So it gave me this awareness of how much business owners do for their employees, and like how their phone never stops ringing. You know what I mean? And so I appreciate every person in my life that got me here. But you do have that fear, oh my gosh, am I going to make ends meet? And then you just start to realize, it sounds like such a cliche, but God provides. The creator just provides, and everything is just like, you just gotta show up.
Yeah, you gotta talk. I am an entrepreneur as well, and I totally relate and to the 9 to 5, and being the entrepreneur at the 9 to 5, and vice versa. Like, I've lived it all, and it's like walking through the fire. You have to walk through the fire, and it's gonna be like, because people think I'm following my bliss, and I'm following everything's gonna work out. You gotta be able to face like sometimes really dark things, like money, all these money programs and stuff. But that's part of it. That's like part of connecting with the abundance and money flow within yourself. And so like when you view yourself as like the source of money instead of whatever attachment is on the outside, because that was a lot for me, just detachment. Like realizing how attached you are to shit you didn't even realize.
Things that you don't need in your life.
Right. Yeah. And just because that's so much of being just sovereign and free. Like, I am me. I don't need this, to realize like this is coming from me. It may not be there, but I know that if it's not, I know how to create it.
Right.
And vice versa. So I totally resonate with what you're saying with money. It's so relevant.
Yeah, learning that money is energy is hard too.
Yeah.
And it's still not easy to detach. I'm still learning the art of detachment.
There is an art. There's an art to detachment. It's something that I've been looking into more as well, especially like right now when times aren't the best. I would say like for me at least, 2024 sucked. 2025 fucking sucked even more. But I will say the silver lining, and I don't know about you guys, maybe you guys can comment on this as we close out into 2026. I am so proud of who I became. Like, when I say walk through the fire, like I will remember these years forever. Because these are like the demon years. I've battled literal demons. Again, for real. And on all fronts. And I am so proud, regardless of like the income, the money, the lack of opportunities, the opportunities, whatever, like to really, even if you have nothing at the end of the day, you have your own integrity. You have everything. You have everything. And I think that's what this year really taught me, like love, health, that is the currency. That is your currency. That is all you truly own. All this other crap is truly made up. Like the paper, all of that. But it's like at the end of the day, what is truly yours? Who you are. Nobody can tell you that. Only you can. What about you? What would you say for the last 2 years and going into 2026?
That sounds so corny, but I think I was in this comfortable sort of like trajectory where I didn't want to take too many risks, because everything, I was like, I'd wake up and I'd know what to expect, you know what I mean? And I know what I'd have to set out for the day. So when we started doing this, all of that change. You know what I mean? Like I started taking probably some of the biggest swings I've ever taken in my life. Some of the biggest risks I've ever taken in my life.
Yeah.
So I guess if there were any 2 years to do it, it would have been these 2 years.
Yeah.
And it was a good time to play with it because I think everybody was running around with their hands up like this because no one really knew what was going on, and everything you thought was so steady and was always going to be there, kind of like everything shifted a lot for everybody.
And thank God for many things needed to be shifted. It's like painfully slow.
Yeah.
At least on the health front that I can say for people like that have known. It's, oh my God, really? You're just now talking about Tylenol?
Yeah, I know.
You're just now talking about that? Really?
Yeah, I know.
Like, it's in the fact that we even have the sensor.
Hot, fresh off the press news.
And then it's like when you get, what was it? I forget their name. Callie, the big name. The people now, they're like Harvard professors or like lawyers or something that are just saying the same shit that like the hippie herbalist people, you know what I'm talking about? That like got a book deal because seed oils are bad. Really?
Yeah. Welcome to the crowd.
So I'm glad.
Yeah.
Yes, this needs to come out whatever way people can digest it. But at the same time, it's painfully slow.
There's still so many people fighting back, though. You know what I mean?
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Like RMK is coming out with all this great. Oh, but he's this. Well, he's that. Okay, great. Let's look at his morale. Let's forget about everything else. You know what I mean? All the information that he's coming out with.
Painfully.
Can we focus on the subject at task, please? But
I know.
This has been crazy for me because I started my divorce in 2022, but I didn't actually physically separate from him and his place till 2023. So it's been like 3 years for me that I've been walking through, and I had to leave financial security. He makes 3 times the amount as I do.
Yeah.
I had to leave. I left my house by choice.
Yeah.
That I had spent, that year that we bought that house, I made $80,000 in real estate, and we put $60,000 into that house.
Wow.
And I walked away from all of that except for the equity. I did take half the equity of the house, but that doesn't include all that stuff. You know what I mean? So I was alone for the first time in my life. I had to spend nights alone. I had no friends, no family. I'm a alien here in Georgia.
Yeah.
He made sure to turn some of my kids against me, and even the kids that weren't completely turned against me, he put doubt in their mind.
Of course. Triangulation.
Yeah. So I was definitely the enemy for a long time. So I had to learn, but when I look back at it, it was so hard when you're in the fire.
Yeah.
That's my 143 moment I talk about, and that's going to be an episode one day, but
Love that.
it was tough. But then at the end of the day, now I look back at it and it's grown me, it's stretched me, it's healed me, it's strengthened me, it's turned me in who I am now.
Totally.
And a part of me was afraid because I grew up being a yes girl. I grew up being a good girl. I grew up doing what I was told, you know what I mean? And being very kind. To this day, I do believe love is the first way and the only way. But there's a part of, as a girl, you are afraid that if I stand up and put boundaries, then I'm no longer being nice. And you can't be both sides.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you start learning that no, 2 things can be true.
Right. Totally. Absolutely.
You know, and so, it's been definitely a growing. I mean, when I walked away, I had no money.
Yeah.
I was living in an RV trailer in a camp park. You know what I mean? At a trailer park.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there were days that I didn't have money to eat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I am a Christian girl, and I did pray to God that he gave me money for when I did have my kid, that I could take him to do things. We can go out to eat.
Yeah.
And that I would get my bills paid. I wasn't very clear. Anytime you go to prayer with God, you need to be very clear what you want, because my bills were paid, but not always on time. And I always had money to go do things with my kid, but I forgot to say, and can I have some money too so I can eat? I don't have my kid.
Yeah.
I did get a lot of judgment on how could I take my kid to Disney World and go eat at these nice restaurants and do these things.
Yeah.
When I was in such a poverty state. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But for me, I felt like I prayed for something and God blessed me with it. So if I don't take that opportunity, then I was throwing his blessings away. And it brought me back biblically. There's a scripture that says the the owner of an estate gave all his people money, you know, and told them go do the, and 3 of them came back. Oh, I did this and I got back. I doubled, I tripled, I quadrupled. And the other guys, I was afraid to lose it. So I buried it. You know what I mean? So if I was afraid to lose that blessing that God gave me and I would have buried it, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. But what I did with that money is I stayed faithful, trusting in God that he gave me that money for a purpose and a reason. So I took my kid to all the places. We did all the things. We made all the memories. We traveled. We ate like kings. And when he was gone, I didn't eat at all. But now I'm out here. I don't think about not eating. I'm living like a king.
I love that.
I'm making tons of money, but
that's okay.
But it's provided. That's because money is energy. And I try to, like, a lot of people tell me, like, make it make sense. How do you only bring in this income, but yet you've gotten this place and you've gotten that? Where are you getting this money from?
Same. People ask me that. But, and it's not just you.
Yeah.
That's what people forget. And I wore that burden and responsibility for so long.
Yeah.
Like, my income is a reflection of I'm not doing this right. I'm not aligned and all that bullshit. No. Not true at all.
Yeah.
And sometimes you are supposed, it's actually done purposefully. Like your guide, this is more of a spiritual conversation, but your guides or however you want to think, just to keep it more kind of Unitarian, that part of your cycle, it's not supposed to be that way. So you can either learn certain things or get more resourceful or more creative. It's not all,
interesting.
It's a co-creation. We're in here in physical form, but the people forget about the part. Collaboration. And there are certain things that you signed up for that you're unaware of before you even incarnated here. That if you maybe got what you wanted, it would have all fallen apart at that time.
Exactly.
So it's a long road sometimes, and I have lived this and I have seen, but it's only in hindsight that we look back and we're like, oh shit. Now that made so much sense of when I asked for that and it didn't come, why I didn't get it.
Exactly.
But it, and so it's just, but that is faith.
Yeah.
That's having that trust.
That is. It's having that faith. And it's just walking, just knowing that you are provided for. You know what I mean? So now my really good friend, I call her my sister, she said the best thing. Actually, one of her other friends said something to her because she said, I don't know how you do it. You always just jump off the building and somehow land on your feet. And she was like, that's why. Yeah. I jump off the building. I know I'm going to land on my feet. You know what I mean? Because I'm afraid to jump off the building. Well, that's why you're never going to land on your feet.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the two things have to happen together. So when that was said back to me, and that happened to be said right when I was going through the whole divorce and everything, I was just like, that's why I got the money, the opportunity to take my kid to Disney World. I was like, I'm taking him. I'm not going to not do this. And we made great memories.
Yeah. And you can be, listen, and I said that a lot this year.
Yeah.
You can be broke, being stressed out and miserable.
Yeah.
Or you can be broke and be happy.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You're still going to be broke either way, but you're going to enjoy it.
You could have a boatload of money.
Totally.
And be miserable.
That's why it's like,
you know what I mean?
Either way, you may as well enjoy it. No matter how low, and that's like the key. And it seems like you found that. Really.
Oh, yeah.
That's like the key. Really important.
Finding my peace and finding joy in the little things has been like
awesome.
The hardest thing. And then it does really, the mental heals the physical. So,
absolutely.
You know, when I was in my marriage, I always had headaches. I was always sick. I always had all these things.
Toxicity.
Yeah. And I say that as I have a terrible headache, but
I get that.
I was having migraines like several days every month. My migraines are very far and few in between now. So
that's awesome.
Your mental state starts working on your physical state too. So if you're in a place where you're not happy, there's no growth for you, your physical is going to feel that. Your physical is going to know that. And you're going to feel weighted down. You're going to feel disease filled. You're going to feel pain filled. You're going to feel, and I'm not saying like, sometimes we have to address the other issues too, the physical issues too, that they all go hand in hand. You know what I mean? But the mental, the emotional, that's why here at the spa, I always am talking about mind, body, spirit.
Yeah.
I am here to be a steward to help you and guide you with all of these things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Are we going to address your skin issues? Yes. Are we going to talk about your mental health? Yes. Are we going to talk about your spiritual health? Yes.
Yeah.
Because together, they're all the same. I can't address anything with you're never going to feel as beautiful as you want if your mental health is thrashed. You know,
Totally.
I could put all the cosmetics on you.
I think some people don't see it too. Like sometimes you'll have someone and they'll start to talk to you about one aspect of it. And so then you might just ask an open-ended question having to do with the other two.
Yeah.
And then you start to see the wheels turning.
Yeah.
And that's all we do is we just have a conversation with people. But sometimes you can see it unlock some doors and things like that.
Yeah.
So true.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah. And it's the same thing with your physical too, because if your gut is thrashed, then it's going to show up on your face.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was preaching that 20 years ago when that was not even a thing.
Not a thing.
Okay. 20 years ago, I was like, we can't address your acne until you get your gut under control. And people would be like, what are you talking about? That's not a thing.
I know.
And I'm like,
I know.
it is.
That broke my heart one time. I was like at an undisclosed location I was working at. There was a teenage boy looking at the products. And I was just standing there because I don't like to push sales. If somebody wants to talk about something, I'll talk to them about them. But so I was just standing there in case he had a question. His dad came up to him and yanked out his hand. He goes, "You don't need this shit. You just need to wash your fucking face."
Yeah.
And I was looking at his skin and I was like, he does wash his face. That's why his face is so red. Like it's not about that. It's not external. It's internal, you know?
It's probably your gut.
That is Meredith, I love you. That is a regret of mine, though. Is not educating the because I love to educate parents too.
Yeah.
But about like, listen, he is doing that, but it's not that. There's something else going on. Because self-care is morally neutral.
Yeah.
It should be.
2026, I feel like, is going to be wildly better
I
than
think
what
so,
we've
too.
just discussed.
We're manifesting it right now.
Yeah. Well,
It is.
Well, we are in a 1 year.
We're in a 1 year and astrologically
And
a
a
year
horse
of health.
year.
What fire horse,
Yeah,
which is
fire horse.
uncontrollable.
Yep.
Unbridled.
Unbridled. It's the unbridled year. Oh my God.
We're saying it right now.
What can we
You
look
heard
forward
it here
to?
first, folks.
Yes. What can we look forward to on the podcast for 2026?
That'd be a good year.
Well, we already have some really exciting things happening. We're rebranding.
That's right.
And when this goes out, we will be doing visuals. So we're recording right now. We're not technically doing visuals yet, but we will be doing visuals. So that's the exciting thing.
Love that.
We have
Good.
some, I always never know what to call them, but
Just like incredible guests, like just people that we personally,
semi-famous people.
we admire, people we admire that we're really
Okay,
excited to
yeah.
have on.
Love that.
What about you? You got anything popping for your podcast this coming year?
I'm not doing a rebrand, but I'm definitely doing like a rethinking, right? It's like retrograde years.
Yeah.
No, but I'm wanting to add some more like live or like art centered. Like I always do, of course, a biohacking with art, which we just demonstrated. But I want to do a live. I think I want to get more into live, like still have my interviews, like beautifully produced interview segments, but then have a segment that's live and more just raw, but still fun. And so I'm thinking of, I haven't fully formed it yet, but I'll get clear on it soon. But either like some kind of like creative renegades or just like renegades in life. I have
Renegades.
Yeah,
That's what I call
That's
her.
what Sarah calls me.
Really?
Yeah.
I had a whole community, my renegades, another fucking artist, renegades community. Shout out to my renegades. And it makes so much sense.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
My renegade.
This is why we're chatting. This is what happens when renegades
This
get
is our
together.
first crossover, which is fun. You know
It's
what
so
I mean?
fun, yeah.
So much fun. So
And I probably will do more of this too.
Yeah.
yeah.
2026. But I
Yeah.
definitely feel the fire horse energy. I
Yeah.
feel like it's going to be better. I
do.
love that you named the unbridled year. You should maybe even have some, I don't know, for your
Yeah.
graphics. I don't know, but I'm like,
some fire horses.
No,
maybe
I don't.
just like a temporary for 2026 because it's
Yeah.
like unbridled.
Right.
What's crazy is our original picture. We call it the horse coming out of the depths of hell because
It's like that here.
yeah,
There's a horse on fire.
it's a horse on
Yeah.
fire. So maybe we were ahead of our time
Yeah,
in
probably.
November 2024. We didn't even realize it because I didn't know it was the fire horse until just recently.
Yeah.
I didn't even really realize we were in the snake year last year, but I do feel like
Yeah.
I've done so much shedding. I can't say that my years have been bad. I feel like 2022 and 2023 were terrible for me.
Okay.
And 2024 and 2025 haven't been the best years, but I feel like I'm like in the momentum. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like I'm
Yeah.
in the climbing. I can feel, I always say the catapult. You know what I mean? I feel like the
Yes.
pull
The
of the
momentum's
catapult.
going, yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I know at any minute I'm just going to pop off. But that's exciting. We got to have more of these though. And I
Yeah.
just actually thought, and I'm saying this, I'm manifesting it. That's why I'm going to say it. We're going to say it on the air. But wouldn't it be so much fun to have like her, and if we could get the functional doctor.
Do roundtable.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, we do roundtables, but we haven't done, but it would be fun to have you and Dr.
I'm down.
Lopez and the functional doctor.
Yeah.
I'm
And
down.
who, we could have Jess next door.
Yeah.
Like just some of us that are like just true believers in this.
Because there's going to be health stuff coming out. So maybe you could time it around when, because I 2026, I know it's astrologically points to
Yeah.
so much with health
I'm
coming
wondering
out.
if we could do it in March because something's telling me we need to put it out in April.
Yeah, well,
That's what my gut's telling me.
April's a real new year.
Yeah.
Okay, the
Yeah.
this is created by the Catholic Church. Gregorian calendar
Mhm.
for taxes. That's a whole other episode.
If you dig into the Gregorian calendar, that's a whole other
It's-
episode.
yeah.
But there's more to it than that.
Yeah.
That created like the enslavement of chasing money that we're never going to catch,
and to get people off their natural cycle.
off your natural
of-
cycle.
April
that's
is
a whole-
the natural.
Mhm.
When the spring, again, follicular phase, the spring,
yeah,
things start coming.
yeah.
So it'd be,
Which makes sense.
it makes sense
Yeah.
to set resolutions around
Yeah, yeah,
January.
yeah.
Well, if you're hearing this, go ahead and start getting your questions together.
Yeah.
You can
love
email us.
Yeah.
Send us your questions, and we can go ahead and start racking them up, and then we'd have some good questions to ask y'all when we have the episode.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Just us girls though. Oh, we could have Nicole too. That would be
Yeah.
good.
Oh, yeah. It'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
we would all just, oh man, we'd be popping off. I don't
Oh,
even know
yeah.
if we'd have time to talk. We would have to make it like a 4-part series.
Yeah, it'd be like a 4-part.
I love it.
sure.
I'm down. And I love chatting with you guys.
Yes, we'll talk to you
Yeah.
too.
So, I mean,
Those
I
were
could
awesome.
chat with you guys forever.
Literally, huh?
Forever. But I
Yeah.
feel like we've really ran the track here on our fire horse.
We need to do it again.
Unbridled.
Unbridled fire
Oh
horse.
my gosh. I love these visuals being created here today.
Yeah.
Me too.
And yeah, thank you guys for
Yeah,
just being who you are.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time. We appreciate it.
Slamming it down here with us. Down in the
I love
snows.
it. I love it.
Coming down from Macon.
Oh my gosh. It's been so real. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. And so with that, that's a wrap.